Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Welcome everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. We're here for the Alpha X Champions Cup. I am Caster Snoopy, and joined by my side is Salivant.
How's everybody going? Sorry for the delays. One of our players did not show up. We've secured an A-lister alternate for you, Parko Mike. Parko Mike was unable to make it for Group B, but we've brought him in anyway. Professionalism pays off. He told us in plenty of time he couldn't make it for Group B, so we brought him in as an alternate for Group C instead when it turned out one of our players couldn't make it, and didn't mention anything at the last moment, hence the delay in this tournament, whereas Group B was able to go off without a hitch. So we're just waiting on our vetoes now.
Yep, luckily for him, he gets to be back into the tournament and has a chance to win some money here.
In fact, this has suddenly turned into probably our best round of 16 group in terms of sheer pedigree of players, because we've replaced our lower seed Kuna with a higher seed Parko Mike. So we have 4. This could be a round of 8 group, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of feel sorry for the others. Maybe we made a mistake here in putting Parko Mike back in the tournament, but it's for the best for you guys. You'll get to see some fantastic, fantastic games. So we have moved away from the losers pick format for the best of 3s, because the idea of the losers pick format is that it gives you a lot of strategic latitude to pick which map you want to play and in what order for various strategies and such, but in a best of 3 that doesn't really matter. You've only got one choice, and that's which map you want to pick in game 2. You only have 2 choices, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. In a best of 5 or best of 7 in finals day, we will be keeping the losers pick format, and it will mean a lot more when you have 5 or even 7 maps with which to pick.
Sounds good. Looks like the players are still vetoing.
Hopefully they're vetoing privately, because we would like to get underway.
So while they are vetoing, let's go ahead and just give a little bit of a recap from last 2 weeks. We do have Group A here. Looks like Art and Burning came out first and second out of that group. Group B will be Bio, Ice, and Hino. So both 4 of those players has advanced to the round of 8, and then we're currently doing Group C. And then Group D to round off the round of 16 will be next week, next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to tune in for that.
It looks like it might be, but we may have to actually delay that by a week in the event of WCS challenges. Some of our players are actually so skilled that they might make WCS, and that might impact their plans.
Ah, I see.
So we will be doing it either on the 20th or the 27th. Sushi will be getting back to me on that one. But we will be doing it by the end of this month. And then in May we will have the round of 8 groups, and then the round of 4 and finals in one gigantic finals day. Alright. Automaton, Repugnancy, and Port Alexander are our maps.
Alright.
Auto Repug Port. Now, since Light is from the EU, we will be playing on East US.
Alright, just gonna make sure. Yep, I'm on Eastern, so let me go ahead and start inviting the players here.
I'm just wondering if there's a better way, because Parko Mike is in Mexico, I think. But no, I think it's still East US. Yeah, we're good. He's still in the NA region. So, Light versus Parko Mike for our first match. This is going to be a pretty good one. Parker Mike 5900 MMR, and Light even further up. Parker Mike is like 34th in the NAGM ladder at the moment. Now I've just got some error that I'd never gotten before, actually. Cache read connection.
Just re-invited you back in, so hopefully you got the...
Yeah, hopefully it works this time around. And when you start getting those errors in all caps that are designed for developers to look at, you know something's wrong. Oh lord. We will be doing some momentary Googling.
Ah.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Yeah, it's still not working.
I didn't even try and accept that one. I'm alt-tabbed at the moment.
Maybe you need to relog into StarCraft, or...
Could be. I'm just quickly looking up the problem. Okay, looks like...
Should I re-invite you back in, or are you gonna relog in?
No, there's a solution that I can solve, that I can use to solve it. Just gotta end this process. Head to program data. And delete the Blizzard Entertainment cache. And I will need to relog out of StarCraft.
Alright.
Sorry about that. Looks like this is just a StarCraft issue rather than anything I could have prevented.
Oh, we have a follower by Cartel G. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Of course, you will be hearing about the thank you 2 minutes later, because we do have a 2-minute delay here, so...
Yep, just a precaution really. We don't really expect any of our players to cheat, but it is generally a good practice to have and doesn't really hurt anyone. Alright, there's apparently a 2 GB file that needs to be deleted. Let's see how long that's going to take.
So currently the WCS EU qualifiers are still going on, so hopefully that ends soon, and then people can start coming over and heading over to our stream. But
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, for those of you that are still here though, that are currently watching, thank you, appreciate it.
Alright, I'm hopping back on now.
Alright.
Let's hope this works.
Fingers crossed.
We're in. Let's see if I can enter a game.
Oh, Daunted, hey, thank you for the subscription of Tier 1. You've subscribed for 4 months. Awesome.
Cheers, Donald. Donald's been a long-time fan of us and was quite an important leg in the CTL at one point. Playing above his league and still basically never lose it. It was very impressive.
Yeah, he's been a long time member. I mean, no longer, but he's still an honorary member in our hearts.
That's for sure.
Okay, still says you have not elected to join the lobby for some reason.
Yeah, I was having some trouble actually loading up.
Alright, try joining in by yourself instead of me inviting you. I think hopefully that allows you to enter the lobby here.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see if I can do that. The portraits aren't loading up, which is not a good sign.
Yikes. Maybe we'll have you create the lobby yourself and then we join?
No. I think that the best move here is, I think you may have to just solo cast the first game. This should resolve. This does get resolved if I keep trying, but it may take a bit of time, and we've already delayed these people enough. So, after the first game, just message me,
Okay.
and I shall hop back in.
Alright.
Talk to you in about 10 minutes or so.
Alright. Alright, just gonna let the players know that Salaman's joining us after the game. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just solo cast this first game. Kingslayer in the chat, hey! Language, man, language. No, I'm just playing. Awesome to have you here. Alright, looks like we're having a bit more viewers coming in. You came in just in the right time as we're about to start our first game here. We're just waiting for Light as Pokemon is ready. Light said be right back, so I'm guessing he needed to tend to something first, but hopefully he can come back soon. As soon as he comes back, we'll be starting this first game here. Again, this is a best of 3. Whoever wins this series will go into the winners versus winners match for set number 3. After this, we will have set number 2, which will involve Ro16 and Mamba. They will be playing one-on-one in another best of 3. And remember, guys, whoever... Oh, looks like Light is back. Whoever wins today's group, the first 2, the top 2, will advance to the round of 8, which will automatically guarantee them a $25 prize pool. And then, of course, if they go further into the tournament, the prize pool will increase for them. All right, here we go. Spawning at the 2 o'clock position, we have our blue Protoss. He is Paco Mike. And spawning at the 8 o'clock position, we had the red Terran. No, not the Terran. Red Protoss player. He is the opposite of dark. He is light. Alright, so a PvP on Automaton. Both players are pretty strong. I know Paco Mike is pretty strong in PvZ. I haven't seen him play much in PvP yet, so I'm not sure his win rate on that matchup, but from what I can tell from Light and past history, he's pretty much solid in a lot of matchups. I think he's really strong in PBT in particular, but I believe his PvP is not shabby at all. He is one of our, I guess, most popular members in Alpha X because he does stream a lot. He's a really nice guy. He's played in a lot of team leagues and tournaments for us. You may have seen him in a lot of games in the Alpha Team League, America's Pro, and as well as the Euro Pro division. And of course, he's played in our MVP Cups in the past before. He's won, I think, one or twice, I forgot. But he hasn't been into our most recent MVP Cups because I think the time, like he has a fixed schedule right now for streaming, so I think the timing doesn't work for him as well. So I think he hasn't been participating in the recent ones. Of course, we have moved up the MVP Cups to 2 o'clock Eastern time in order to be a bit more EU friendly, because we do have a lot of European players in Alpha X. So we try to accommodate them in terms of the timing as best as possible, while not making it too early for our American players. Alright, I heard a little beep. Sal, is that you? Hopefully Salivan can get his technical issues done. Or I guess it's not much of a technical issue, it's just more of a Blizzard little bug thing. But anyhow, we do have a hallucinated Phoenix coming from Paco Mike. Will be able to scout the Twilight Council from Light. Now, because Light went for the Twilight Council immediately, this will bode well for him against what Paco Mike is doing, which he is making a Stargate opening. Stargate, when your opponent goes Stargate, the best answer for that is Stargate yourself or Twilight Council. Robo is probably the worst for against Stargate. Oh, actually, I have a call from... actually, you know what? I'm just gonna tend to that message afterwards. Mute my Discord so you won't hear the alert, the sound alert yet. But anyhow, we do have a bit of a little... Oh, actually, you know what? Paco Mike will be scouting this probe maybe with his stalkers. Oh, actually, he's gonna barely just miss it. Unfortunate for him. He definitely wants to take out this probe because I think this probe is going to make a proxy pylon here. Yep, proxy pylon, so he will be able to warp in his stalkers. Once blink is done, he can move out, because one thing about Stargate openings is you are a little bit susceptible because you won't have a lot of army, like beefy bulk army. I mean, the Phoenix will be able to lift off some units, but if you're lifting off a few stalkers, you're still going to have a bunch of stalkers against a few ground units of Light, or of Paco Mike rather. But Paco Mike, he's going to go ahead and try to keep Light at his base by doing a bit of a light harass, but he needs to be careful because blink is done, so these stalkers can get on top of these stalkers and adepts. The shade goes into the main and he does let it finish. But so far, Paco Mike is actually cleaning up house in the natural of Light, and he's in a bit of trouble here. He needs to clean up these adepts. He does, and he will be able to finally send his stalkers to defend the natural. He does lose a little bit of probes here. 7 probes goes down, which is unfortunate for him. But in the meantime, 2 adepts from Light is doing a bit of a counter harass. Maybe he can even up the worker count with this. Oh no, he tries to recall his Phoenix, but the Phoenix only have a bit of energy. But actually, no, wait, he does have enough energy to lift off the 2 adepts. So nicely done there by Pokemon, and now he's enjoying a 61 to 45 supply lead here, as well as a 10 worker lead, which is pretty significant, especially in a mirror matchup. In a mirror matchup, you do not want to be down in workers at all, because I mean, you know, in PvZ it's okay if you're down a bit, because that's kind of how the economic mechanics kind of works. In PvT, you definitely want to be ahead of the Terran, because they do have mules, which helps them. So you don't want to be, you want to be ahead of them by a good amount. But in PvP, you know, you're basically the same race. You definitely want to be somewhat even or ahead. Definitely don't want to be 10 workers behind, especially in the pretty early game at that point. So Light, he's gonna go ahead and try to put on some pressure here. He is researching charge, so I don't think this is an all-in here. It's not super committed, especially since he's making a dirt behind this. But he definitely does need to do a good decent amount of damage to try to even this up, because Pokemon, he's making those Immortals, and he's up to 2 Immortals. If he makes the third, 3 Immortals, one-shot Stalkers, it's gonna be really hard to defend against that big counterattack, and even some additional worker harass by Paco Mike. Now the good thing for Light is that Paco Mike has not gotten his dirt base yet, so this is pretty good. So with those 3 Nexus, he can Chrono Boost those probes out to at least catch back up. But again, that army composition is just much superior for Paco Mike, so Light needs to start. He needs to start incorporating some additional higher tier units instead of just, you know, gateway units. But I like this play. He's actually going to go ahead and abuse his blink and use a hallucinated Phoenix to get into the main base of Paco Mike, which will actually go ahead and depower all these gateways, which is going to delay a bit his warp-ins, which will be nice. Now this Dark Shrine has yet to be scouted by Light. Does he have a observer? Actually, I don't. Okay, he's just making it right now, so he will have an observer. But in the meantime, he does go ahead and do some blink micro, takes out a Stalker, and might actually take out this dirt, which would be huge, which might be his chance to. Oh no, he does not have enough. Paco Mike does reinforce, and oh, actually, for some reason he's a bit preoccupied with something else. And he does cancel the third base, which is a huge win for Light. This is his chance to start coming back into this game. In fact, he has a bunch of charge. Oh no, charge lot, not charge lot, actually Zealots. The charge has not yet finished, but it doesn't matter. The Stalkers blink on top of these Immortals out in the middle. And he does retreat into the shield batteries, but is it enough? I think it's a bit too late here. I don't think he even needs the charge, and just is too much for Light. Wow, what a nice turnaround there. Paco Mike was pretty ahead in terms of his army composition as well as the working supply, but somehow Light, using the Blink Micro Mobility, managed to go ahead and take the game after being down. And let's go ahead and see if Salavanth can come back here. Next map is New Repungency, so let me go ahead and make that. Okay, so I'm just gonna invite Salavant to. Oh, looks like he's not answering here. Okay, looks like Salavanth is still having trouble here.
Hey,
Hey,
let's see if it'll work this time.
okay,
Alright, I can see the name of the map this time. That's a good sign.
sweet.
It says it's downloading. It's downloading slowly.
Oh wait, oh no, no, it looks like it's the same problem. Maybe you should make the map. You want to try that?
No, it was a different problem. Invite me again.
Okay.
This was just a regular SEA thing that occasionally happens, rather than. There we go.
All right.
Let's hope it holds out. When this tournament is over, I'm going to be calling up my internet company and saying, which areas do you service so that when I move, I can not go there. I'm already planning on moving anyway.
All right, we have both players ready. And again, Light is leading 1-0 in this best of 3.
Let's see if Pokemon can come back. New opponents see very good cannon rushing map. Would be interesting to see if we see something like that here. In the bottom left. One game up. Looking for a second one. It is the third seed of this tournament. It is Light.
And spawning at the top right, we have our blue Protoss player looking to tie up the game and send it to the ace match. It is Paco Mike.
So what did happen in game number 1?
So Paco Mike opened up a Stargate opening and actually did a good significant amount of damage in the early game to be ahead by like 10 workers. But somehow Light with some blink stalkers managed to crawl his way back into the game and actually take the game. So pretty impressive comeback by Light.
That's not a good sign for Pokemon, unfortunately. We'll see what he can do. What can he do with his opener that was better than what he already did? Maybe he needs to try and kill Light on one base.
Yeah, I mean the one good thing for Light was that he did open up Twilight Cancel, which helped. Which helps against Stargate opening. So we'll see if both players does go for the same build order opening here. Oh man, suddenly in the chat saying 3 toss and 1 Zerg. Unfortunately, yep, there is 3 toss here. Kunamatara had to be subbed in, so it was a Protoss over a Terran, so unfortunate for there.
I think Sunlily wakes up in a cold sweat every night, imagining that dream. No, not 3 Protosses. Anything but that. Put me in a different group. Oh god, it was just a dream. And then a Zealot's over her bed. This is no dream. Alright, so we'll see 2 Adepts for Pokemike, Stalker Sentry for Light. So we do see the Stargate again for Pokemike. Looks like he wants to continue to do it, and why not? It worked out very well from the first game, even if he was behind, theoretically, in the Tech War. Looks like Light himself wants to expand pretty quickly off 2 units.
Yeah,
Pokemike not gonna stop him.
Looks like we have a deviation from last game here. Light is going to actually go for a Robo opening instead of Twilight
And
Cancel.
a 3rd gate.
Oh.
This is a fake. He is not expanding at all. He's going for a 3-gate Robo build against this Stargate. I'll have to see what comes out of the Stargate, though it looks like it's going to be an Oracle, considering he could have built the Phoenix earlier, and that, oh man, that sentry, very key for Light, goes down very quickly. And it looks like it might even get the Stalker as well. He's not allowing the Stalker to retreat. Oh no, he's just gonna recall, figuring there's gonna be more units to come back to defend the Stalker. And there is. But he still doesn't know exactly what's going on. In fact, this is gonna be 4 gateways. This is a completely committed attack. Light will never be expanding off 4 gates. And Puggamike sees the probe for Light, so that's gotta mean something. He sees it, but does he understand what that means? I think he sees the Stalkers as well. He should be hunkering down at home. He's building a robo and a forge, though. He's got no idea what's going on. He's sending some adepts, and he sees no natural, and that's got to be like, oh no. That's got to be a big moment of worry for him. Where's the warp prism for Light, though? Oh, it's just coming out now with a couple more Stalkers.
Yeah, this delay is gonna hurt his attack timing. It's gonna give.
Yeah,
just give Puggamike some time to set up the shield batteries, the stasis ward as well. There, I like that.
Yeah, that's very good. Though I'd actually like to see him potentially just maybe even abandon this natural.
Oh, actually, yeah. He's gonna go ahead, just ferry up.
Yeah, he's gonna elevate her up. And this could just be it. I mean, there's just so many units here, and they're already completely bypassed all of the defenses. He's pulling probes. These zealots are gonna be tanking so much damage. The adepts come in, the oracle comes in to do anything they possibly can. But already Puggamike is so low in workers, and these stalkers are still here. There's just so many of them. Light with a just perfectly executed attack, and Puggamike with no idea. GG is cold, and Light will advance very swiftly to the winner's match.
Yeah, quick game there by Light and Puggamike. And we are gonna go ahead into our set number 2, which is gonna be Ro16 and versus Mamba.
Indeed we are. Puggamike will go down to the loser's match. Light will face the winner of this match.
Light asking, do I have anything else for tonight?
Where's he asking that?
In Whisper.
Yes, his next match is match 3, scheduled for 5:30 PM EST. The winner's match.
5:30?
Yes, EST. So
Okay.
about 40 minutes.
All right.
I'm just letting Mamba and Ro16 know that they're up. So yeah, very quick series there.
Yeah.
Certainly a good one. Light playing very well with a variety of different tech.
And it's kind of similar to the first game. Both games actually pretty similar, where Light was just kind of got his worker line ravaged in the early stages, and then for somehow just manages to win the fight later on.
Yeah. This tournament is brought to you by Bubba Burger, one of our sponsors. Bubba Burger has, I believe, 8 varieties of different frozen burger. Very high quality, no need to defrost them, just put them on, cook them up, serve them with whatever you want, and eat them. I haven't had them, but I know Snoopy has.
Yep. Well, I haven't ate the Bubba Burger yet, but people like Swagcar and Rushi has. So, and they've testified that they're pretty good. So, I wouldn't doubt them.
There you go. Swagcar and Rushi approved, so therefore it's Alpha X approved. Thank you very much for sponsoring this event. We wouldn't be able to bring such a wonderful prize pool to the players without you. Yeah, just waiting on Rodson and Member. They should be on standby, waiting around for... Oh, that's right. We're going to be playing on EU. Because Member and Rodson are both from Europe.
Alright, let me go ahead and actually give, like, the bracket page, because I think he's a little confused about the format. Is the EU server up and running?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, let me go ahead and head on to EU here.
So we will have a PVZ coming up next. Member and Rodson also both high-level players themselves, around like 5.7, 5.8k. And they're the two least ranked players in this group today, so because of our last-minute substitution, we really are in for a treat. 4 top 100 GMs, all in the same group competing. And we should see that a lot more in the round of 8 as well.
Yeah.
So consider this a preview of what's to come.
Alright, while you get the players to do the vetoes, I'm gonna go ahead and just use the bathroom for a sec, so just carry on.
Alrighty. Light is on the channel already, waiting for his next match, which he's correctly predicted will be on EU, considering that both of his potential opponents are also on EU. Very proactive of him. I quite like that. We shall have to see which maps these two want to go for. Automaton being the first veto. Oh wait, they vetoed privately. Okay, so we do have our map pool set up. Doesn't really matter who makes the game this time, considering that we are on EU, and therefore there's only one server. Actually, we might wait on Snoopy to make the games, considering I've had some connection issues. Man will be back in 2 minutes, so when
Alright.
Snoopy returns...
I am back.
Okay. Man will be back in 2 minutes, so I'll be back in a couple minutes as well.
All right.
And in the meantime, you can create the game. We've got our map pool up above: Automaton, King's Cove, New Repugnancy, in that order.
All right.
So Auto will be first.
Okay, so while we wait for Mamba to come back, just want to remind you guys that we do have a Matcherino set up for this tournament. We do have the base price of $500, which is insane because that is the largest prize pool that Alpha X has put up in terms of events. So thank you to Sushi and Salvan for helping host this tournament with such an awesome prize pool. But anyhow, we do have a Matcherino with a Matcherino code. If you type in the exclamation Matcherino in the Twitch chat, then it should bring up the link as well as the code. So let me go ahead and just type it into the Twitch chat right now. And then if you guys can just go ahead and type in the code into the Matcherino link. Just click on contribute button and then you should be able to enter the code that will donate 50 cents for free to the tournament. And then if you want to take a look at the bracket, the Wikipedia page, you can just type in exclamation bracket, which I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now as well. And that should bring up the Wikipedia page link in case you want to go ahead and take a look at the bracket.
And I'm back.
All right, let me go ahead and invite you and the players into the lobby here.
Fantastic. Automaton, King's Cove, and New Repugnancy. People not going for the old maps, choosing to veto the fan favorites of Port and Kairos.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, throwing their opponents into some different maps.
Which we can't be mad because, you know, we've seen all the Kairos games and we've also seen the Port Alexander games. It's nice to change it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I quite like it. We don't see Automaton very often.
Mm-hmm. Looks like our Boba Burger advertisement is working already. Sepulturus in the chat says, "Damn, I want a burger now."
It's always a good time for burgers.
Oh yeah.
May just need to re-invite Mamba. Maybe it worked too well. Maybe he's rushing off to get a burger right now. That's why I said BRB 2 minutes. He's just putting them in there, putting them on the grill.
Yeah, it must be. He's gonna be eating a burger while playing at the same time.
Exactly. Just saying, if his APM ever falls to the floor, it's because he's eating. At risk of losing this game, but I must eat this delicious burger.
Alright, looks like we're just waiting on Mamba here. He should be back shortly here.
Run a Bubba Burger StarCraft event. It's like the beer mile. You have to eat like 4 Bubba Burgers during the game in order to declare the winner. Best of 5, 1 burger must be consumed each game during the game itself. Alright, that's what we invited.
Alright.
The winner of this will go up to face Light for a spot in the round of 8 and $25 US. Very competitive tournament. It's having to face off against someone like Light, one of the top players in NA and a strong EU player himself. Just for a chance at $25 at the round of 8. There are 2 spots. But Parker Mike stands in the way of whoever loses this match, and he's going to be a pretty tough opponent as well.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a great group here, and it's only going to get better from here. As we bring our PBZ into the midst.
Yep, Sunlily shall be happy about that, for sure. Our first Zerg of the day.
Indeed. We shall have 2 or 3 PVZs today, depending on how a member performs. And here we go. In the bottom left. Spawning as the Zerg. It is the Swedish player. It is Mamba. Right. Is he Swedish or Swiss? I can never remember which one that flag is. Oh well, later.
Just call him a Swedish fish, like, you know, the little candy. Or anyhow, like here,
lutefisk.
You know, the little candy with the Swedish fish.
No idea.
It's like a gummy type thing. And anyhow, here at the 2 o'clock position, we have the red Protoss player. It is Ro16.
I don't think they have that candy in Australia.
You should maybe Google it sometime. I think you might have seen it. It's pretty popular, so.
Could be. Then there's a lot of candies that are very popular in America that we just don't have in Australia. Like Reese's peanut butter cups. They just aren't a thing here.
Alright. Looks like we have a bit of an aggressive opening by Mamba here. Is opening up with gas into pool.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's 17-17. I'm getting a couple of frame drops. Are you?
I'm fine. Oh wait, actually.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, no, it's starting actually. Maybe someone is lagging or someone.
Yeah, if it's anyone, it would likely be me. I just want to make sure the players are okay. But it seems to be alright.
Yeah, it seems to be alright. Stabilized for now. But anyhow, this is gonna be a really aggressive because he's actually still mining gas. So I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, what's he mining that gas for? Banelings?
Maybe even roaches too. But I think
look at that. Rodson has a probe in the main base of Mamba ready to scout. That is beautifully done. If he can time this out right, he would be able to see the tech coming. And Mamba has no idea. We'll just have to see how well he times that out. Rodson throwing down a Stargate.
Oh.
He's gonna start moving around with his oh, the lair starts. And Rodson sees it flawlessly. Beautiful timing. He's going to be prepared for this. This is going to be a very, very fast Ling Queen Nidus play. We haven't seen this in this tournament yet, but apparently it is very popular. And we'll have to see what Rodson wants to do in response. Whatever he does, he cannot let that Nidus worm go up.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that he did open Stargate, so if you can make a Phoenix or maybe even a Void Ray, you can snipe out those Overlords so he can't morph the Nidus in his main base.
Yeah, looks like a Void Ray. No, he's going for an Oracle. Actually, he wants to snipe down the Lings. I'd like to see him just completely wall off his main here. Oh, they might actually break through if he doesn't get another building up right now. He's building the gateway. Finally, oh, he gets the gateway up just in time. Here come the Lings. There is a lot of them, that's for sure. But he has walled off at the front, but that's not the only threat. Is he getting a Nidus Worm or is he just getting a Dropper Lord? That's the question. He is getting a Nidus network. The Void Ray is now on the way. He has one Oracle to fend off Zerglings, and he'll have that Void Ray to take out Dropper Lords and to take out Overlords and to even take out Nidus Worms. In the meantime, he hasn't actually fully walled off his natural, which is an interesting choice. I definitely would have liked to see that. This is a very dangerous attack, but with these Lings on this side of the map, they can't really use the Nidus Worm unless he throws down a Nidus Worm outside the base.
Oh, but the Void Ray comes out just
very
in time.
nasty. Yeah, the Void Ray does come up, kills a bunch of these Lings, and this Nidus Worm is not going to go up either. That's really hurt Mamba's attack. But he is throwing up another Nidus Worm. This is far from over, and there are 2 Queens and a bunch of Lings in that Nidus Worm. He has to get rid of the Nidus Worm, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it in time. Can he manage it? The Nidus Worm is going to come up, I think. But the Queens can't transfuse it. Both Queens will go down. That is actually the best that could possibly have happened for Ro16. He takes out both those very valuable Queens. He takes out the Overlord. There's no more vision. Ro16 fends that off perfectly, and for those of you who are losing with this build on ladder, now you know exactly how to stop it.
Definitely.
Ro16 putting on a clinic.
My goodness, that was such a flawless defense there.
Yeah, Mamba is not done. He's building more Queens. He's got an Overseer. It's on its way. Mamba knows that this is not the kind of build you come back from. And he's not going to stop.
He's going in for round number 2.
Void Ray across the map as well. But we do have an Oracle here. Oracles do full damage to the Nidus Worm. Their spell damage does completely ignore the armor. But in the meantime, there's going to be more and more Niduses being thrown down, and he needs to continue to take them out, every single one of them. But he's doing that very well. 3 Nidus Worms are going to go up, and none of them are going to be effective.
Oh my god.
Actually, one of them might get up unless he uses the Oracles. Oh no, he's actually saving the energy because he knows he can kill him with the Stalkers. Oh, that's beautifully done. Changeling, it does drop down. Mamba's just getting more and more desperate. Ro16 making more and more units. Even making the Phoenix to fend off this Overseer. I'd say that's it. I think that's game. He's sending a single slow Overlord across the map. That's not going to do the trick. Ro16 just has so much now. I suppose he could try and backstab it as Ro16 moves out to attack.
Even then, I still don't see him actually coming back from this. He still has no dirt base. He's down 19 to 42 probes. Goddamn.
He's getting charged, and the Oracle saw that Overseer on the way, so there's not even the element of surprise. The Phoenix is going to put a clock on this Overseer and prevent it from ever really getting away. The Stalkers are just going to chase it down and follow it. It's not going to matter. He's throwing up a Nidus Worm outside the base and trying to set up a base of operations to attack the Natural from, which is probably the best thing he can hope for. And he's going to throw down another Nidus Worm, it looks like, near the Changeling, but he can't even do that. Oh, he does have a couple of Queens to fight this, but there's just so many units right now. And even these Oracles and Void Rays are taking down the entire economy of Mamba. So all he has is this flock of Zerglings, but man, that is a lot of Zerglings. There's a couple of Queens, but just the range just isn't there. There's so many units here, there's such a big wall to fight, and these Lings are just starting to die bit by bit. There are a couple of force fields here, more shield batteries are being thrown down. Mamba's not even going to try. GG is called. Wow, Ro16. Making that build look terrible.
Yeah.
Even though it is really not terrible, it is in fact a terror to Protosses. That was really well done.
Yeah, that was probably like the best Nidus defense I've seen in maybe forever, in a long while.
Oh yeah. I gotta save that replay. Rename. Perfect. Nidus defense. Study this. Admittedly, part of the reason it was such a perfect defense is that he did manage to get that probe in to scout the lair the second it was being started, which is faster than you normally would have gotten to. Which is another good move from Ro16. You may not be able to do that on all maps in all games. And that gave Ro16 a huge advantage in fending this off, but there's still a lot to be learnt from a match like that.
Yeah.
Mamba opens aggressively. It does not pay off. We'll have to see what he wants to do in King's Cove, a much more defensive map. I wonder if we'll see that kind of mass Nidus type of play, maybe with Swarm Hosts.
Oh yeah.
Maybe does seem to like his Nidus Worms so far.
Yeah, I've seen that in some latter games. Actually, Nemesis was watching one of Nemesis stream earlier today, I think, and there was a Nidus 2-base Nidus Swarm Hose play. So yeah, that is a possibility for sure.
You don't even need it off 2 base. You can just make it a sort of macro thing. When you're on 4 bases or so, you can easily afford a Nidus network and a few Nidus worms to give you a huge amount of mobility. It's one reason that the Shark Protoss has become more popular again. Sharking is a phrase from Wings of Liberty, where you would send your stalkers and sentries out to clear watchtowers and threaten creep and such. And it was called sharking because it was actually a pretty weak army. If you stopped moving, you died.
Ah.
But the idea was you would constantly be up in the Zerg's face, and we've seen that with Immortal-based armies over the last few months, where they would just be at the edge of creep and continuously ready to fight. That's because if you put all your army in a Nidus Worm, they can suddenly attack and kill a base and then recall back. Being aggressive on the Zerg side of the map is not normally something Protoss does in the mid-game, but it does fend off those Nidus timings very well. Alright. In the top left, flawlessly defending game number 1. Maybe perhaps the new Shield of Ire, it is Ro16.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the green Zerg player looking to even up the score. It is Mamba.
Look at the red Nexus, even his icon looks like a shield.
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and get a zoom in on that.
A shield made of some sort of carapace. The carapace of a Zerg. Mamba is going to go for another aggressive opening with a 17-17. We'll see if this is going to be the same follow-up, because there are quite a few different all-ins you can do as a Zerg off this 17-17 opener.
Yeah, I think the key will be to look if the Zerg player still manages to mine the gas after getting speed. That could be a good indicator there.
Definitely. Then it likely means Roaches or Banelings, or he could even go for the Nidus network again, though I don't think he will after how well Ro16 fended off game number 1, even though part of that was due to the amount of scouting information he had and how quickly he had it.
Yeah.
Like, that was just perfectly timed, that scout. About 5 to 10 seconds after the lair was done, it was in the base.
Couldn't have asked for a better timing, Scout.
Ro16 just, yeah, he knows. He knows what he's doing. Probe is now at the 3rd base, waiting to see if it will be thrown down, but it doesn't look like it right now, and we're continuing to see more and more gas be mined. In fact, it looks like this may actually be another fast lair, based on the way things have timed out.
Yep.
Yes, it is. He's doing the same thing again. Will Ro16 be able to fend it off twice? Remember, he may not be able to get the probe in this time. No, he's not going to get it in. So that's going to deny scouting. That's going to make this harder to find, harder to fend off. Ro16 had that big advantage in game number 1. We'll see if it matters in game number 2. Ooh, he's hiding the lings. Mamba's hiding it much better this time around. Same opening from Ro16. Getting a stalker to fend off overlords and such. He'll need it. Oh, he sees a bunch of lings going across the map, so that's going to give him a hint.
Oh.
I'd like to see him head into the main, though, and see this lair, but at the very least he knows something is going on. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him full wall off, but he is at least throwing down a shield battery here at this natural base. And even if he doesn't know it's a Nidus, he at least surely suspects one might be coming. 2 shield batteries at the front. But we need them at the main as well. Right now, Ro16 has no idea. It is going to be a Dropper-Lord once again. Presumably into a Nidus follow-up. I think Ro16 now probably knows what this is. He's going to wait for all of the lings to land, or at least enough that the Overlord can't just immediately pick them up and then use the Oracle to kill him. Very nice use of that Oracle energy, taking out a bunch of Lings. But here comes the Nidus Worm. He's going to go after the Worm now. Oh, he's got 2 Oracles and he's going to fend off this Worm beautifully.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is it going to go up actually?
Oh, no, it doesn't. Just the last second. Oh, my God.
GG goes out from Ro16.
I thought he was about
man.
to defend that once again.
I thought so. It was very close.
Yeah.
Question is, will Mamba do the same thing at game number 3? I wonder if it might be a good idea to just completely wall off that front.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think if he bought his ground army around sooner, I think he could have gotten that Nidus.
But as it was, couldn't really have done that because otherwise then the Lings would have gotten into his natural.
Yeah, so he would definitely need to wall off for sure.
So, game number 1. Win. Ro16 won against a Nidus. Game number 2, Mamba won with a Nidus. Game number 3. We will see if Mamba wants to do the same build 3 times.
3 times the charm. Well, I guess in this case, 2nd time's the charm.
Still, I don't think it's a good sign. Mamba's had plenty of time to prepare for this match. And he must be having some trouble in ZVP if doing the same build like this twice, the best he's figured out. It did work, but certainly didn't look like a good idea after game number 1.
Well, I think this shows how powerful Nidus play is right now in the meta.
Yeah, and how important that scout is. Remember, Ro16 didn't even get that adept into the main, so he didn't know for sure the Nidus was coming until it was already being made. He probably suspected it, given the Dropper Lord, and what else are you going to do off that super fast lair, because Dropper Lords do require lairs now, but he didn't know for sure. In the bottom left, with 2 very aggressive openings. Can he do it again? It is Mamba.
And spawning at the top right, we have the red Protoss player looking to defend against that Nidus play. It is Ro16.
And Mamba is going for a very aggressive opening once again, but it's not the same one. He's going for a proxy hatch.
Ooh. Bringing a bit of risk here. Bit of cheese.
Yeah, definitely. But he's not going for the same opening 3 times in a row, at least, which is a good thing. And it looks like the hatchery's going down at the natural first. He's just hiding this drone. Biding its time, waiting for its moment. And we'll see what it wants to do. I think it is going to be a proxy hatch. I don't see any other reason you'd send a drone across the map that quickly. But maybe, yeah. It looks like he doesn't want a proxy hatch at the 3rd. He wants to deny the natural with it instead. And you can macro out of this.
Oh, damn. That's some beautiful timing there.
Yeah,
knew exactly
we'll have to see what the response is.
Yeah.
Pulling a few probes to fend this off, making a zealot. Gonna make a sub-next score. But in this case, gas only just now being thrown down for Mamba. No pool yet. I don't think he actually wants to get aggressive off this. I think he's gonna go into a macro game from here. He just wants to throw his opponent off first.
Yeah.
And so this entire game will be delayed by about 30 seconds for both sides. The hatchery will need to be cancelled as the zealot chops it down. He's going, making an Evo chamber, very well done. And he's going to try for the gas steal, but Ro16's wise to that trick. He's already taken both of his gases.
Oh, but he could definitely steal some minerals if he wants to.
Yeah. He could, but that's just not as effective as taking an extractor. And we'll see if he can deny this hatch. Oh, he's making a hatchery in the main base, actually. Just continuing to be distracting, continuing to be annoying. he knows it's never going to go up. But in the meantime, Rodson's denying this third base from Mamba, and Mamba's forced to take it to another location. And an Adept's being sent across the main to see what the follow-up is. Currently, just a regular opening. One drone on gas, taking speed, so it looks like he is going to be macroing out of this. He's just trying to throw Rodson off his normal game. Meanwhile, we have a Zealot bashing away at this hatchery. Won't be enough to completely take it down. It doesn't do quite enough damage for that, but it will be enough to ensure that it remains at a manageable level of hit points. Adept goes in, gets a kill, gets on out. Second Adept coming across the map to support. And actually, Mamba hasn't taken a third base. Didn't take it in the other location. That is interesting.
Well, he attempted to, but the Adept actually killed it while the drone was on his way to third base. So,
Ah, wow. Very clever.
yeah. Oh, I hope Mamba actually cancels that hatch.
We'll see if he
close.
does. Maybe he wants to...
Oh.
No, he's not cancelling it. I think he's trying to get... Yeah, he's getting a couple of lings into the main base of Rodson. Because he is building lings out of that hatchery. So he's decided that's worth it. He's building a queen as well, but that's not going to go up. So I don't think this is worth it, actually, to finish this hatch.
Yeah,
if you manage to get the queen up, sure. But as it is, no. Especially because he loses one ling straight away. One ling going to get a good scout off, but not really going to do much else. 9 drones killed by Adepts on the other side of the map while all this is going on. By Rodson.
Yeah, and I don't think these 3 links can get 9 pro kills to even out that.
No. I wasn't watching, and I don't think Mamba was watching either. So much going on in this early game. It's such a strange series so far that we've had. Mamba getting extremely aggressive.
Alright, let's see how much this Orca can do, because he's gotten a few drones in the early game, but to force some more Spore Crawlers, some more lost drones, that's going to be a tough one to come back from for Mamba if that happens.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the game is, I was going to say somewhat even, but the third base is still only about halfway done for Mamba, so Rodson definitely does have a bit of a lead there. Mamba is starting to build up that drone count though. First Oracle just scouting around, seeing what's going on. 2 Oracles in total, and a Phoenix now being built as well as Twilight Council. So I guess he's going to want to go into charge after this, and we are seeing the longest game we've had between these two so far. No, game 1 did last longer actually, because there was a lot of attempts for Mamba to continue on with the Nidus play. But certainly the highest econ game we've seen from these players. 2 queens will fend these Oracles away. So what do you think the follow-up is going to be for Mamba? What do you think he's going to do in the mid-game?
Well, certainly he can't go any Spire Tech because he knows Roston has a Stargate, so probably go for a standard maybe Roach, or he can just go for Hydra Baneling Ling if he wants to. I think both can work.
You could even go Mutas against 1 Stargate. It's better when the opponent doesn't have a Stargate, but if they have 1 Stargate, it's still fine. If they have 2 Stargates, then it's just bad.
Yeah, well, you need to definitely catch the Protoss off guard if you're gonna. Oh, yes, actually loses that 1 Oracle, which with the the majority of the energy there, so unlucky for him. But he still has that 1 Oracle if he wants to later throw some Stasis Wards or harass some additional drone lines.
Bit bold to dive after that Spore. Mamba's got some patrolling Zerglings that are scouting for a Warp Prism coming out. Very nicely done. 4 gates on the way, as well as Glaives from Rodson. And it looks like he wants to go for a very aggressive attack. He's got 6 gates. He's making a ton of Adepts. He's going to have Glaives. He will be taking a 3rd base. Mamba's at 62 drones, though. This could actually... He may have over-droned a bit. This could do a lot of damage. This is not an all-in, but it's pretty close. If he doesn't do damage, Rodson's probably going to die. He doesn't have to kill Mamba here, but he has to slow him down.
Yeah, well, luckily for him, he does have 7 Roaches on the production tab, so that definitely will help against these Adepts, as well as the 5 Queens out there.
Yeah, but there are going to be a lot of Adepts, and they're going to be hitting in 2 different locations, as the Warp Prism's going to go for the main, while the Adepts go for the natural. Oh, but he shades in right on top of the Roaches, actually. That's really bad for him. He's starting to go after these drones, but now here comes the main base. He's going to hit in 2 places at once. And he's going to head to the 3rd with the other adepts as well. They're going to finish up. They're going to start attacking the drones there. Meanwhile, the main is under threat as well. Units are... drones in the main base are fleeing to the gas to try and save themselves. 17, 18 drones, 20 drones have already been killed. And they're heading to the natural again. Oh my god. Mambo is causing tremendous havoc. The queens and roaches doing everything they can to defend. But the adepts are relentless. They just continue to move between bases, and Mambo is unable to keep up with the pace. This is what I was worried about. This is why he was doing this. I think a counterattack is his only hope. He's lost half his drone count. He's lost 32 drones to this attack. Immortals, Void Rays, sentries being built from Mamba, more gates, everything he can. He knows that Mamba is all in now. He knows all he has to do is defend and hold against this massive roaches that are coming his way. Nidus network on the way to try and make these roaches even more lethal, even more mobile. In the meantime, this Oracle is going to go out to meet them. I'm not sure if it's going to just go for zaps or for revelations. A single Ravager being produced, all that Mamba can afford, while Rodson knows he just has to hold on. He's not probing up at all, which is a very good decision, I feel like. Meanwhile, this Oracle is just going to be following the Roach army, seeing exactly where it is. Oh, beautiful force fields go down! Half a dozen Roaches killed for free! The Nidus network is now done, but there's no vision. There's no vision in the main. There's just a Nidus network at the 3rd base, but it will be outside of the walls. And I think Rare Rodson even sees it going up and isn't going to let it. The Queens would definitely help out a ton with this build. Yeah, Mamba has 7 Queens in that Nidus network, so if those Queens can get up, that would suddenly make the attack more lethal. He's doing the best he can. The Void Ray is starting to do its thing, but with 7 Queens on the way, that Void Ray is actually not going to be very effective at all. And here come the Queens, and they have so much energy for transfusers. Some force fields go down, but that is a lot of Lings. They will go down as well. But against all these adepts, these Lings do nothing. Mamba's up 25 supply. He's doing the force fields. He's shading forward onto this, and there's just not enough. The Queens and Roaches are just going down one by one. The Nidus gets taken down. They'll let him shade in like an aggressive blink, and everything is going to go down for Mamba, and Rodson is going to advance to the winner's match.
GG.
GG indeed. As Rodson shows why Mamba did not want to get into a macro game against him. These two have surely played before. They're both high up on the ladder, and they're both from the same clan, and they're both European. Mamba may not have chosen this as his style for the whole group, maybe just against Rodson, because he knew how dangerous Rodson was, and Rodson's showing how dangerous he really is.
Yeah. I just informed Light to come on to EU in the same chat channel, so hopefully he'll come in here and...
He's already here.
Okay, nice. Furianson in the chat. Sorry, it's a 2-minute delay, but asking if Light is next. Yep, he is next. Oh, so she just answered him, so that's alright. That's good. Looks like we have some hype for Light here.
Yeah, Light's a well-known streamer. He's got a lot of fans, as he rightly should. He's a great player, entertaining, very helpful. Likes to teach people how to play Protoss. And he's got a few special builds of his own. And Light and all these players playing for a $500 prize pool, which is possible thanks to our sponsor, 24 Hour Fitness. For just $30 a month, you can attend any of over 400 locations, tons of amenities. They've got a pool, they've got a sauna, they've got personal trainers. Of course, they've got the standards such as weights and cardio as well, and all again for just $30 a month. I love 24-hour gyms, going there late at night when no one else is around, having the whole gym to myself. As the night owl I used to be, and as I'm sure many of you still are in the StarCraft community, it's just the best. It's like the entire building was created just for you. You can either pay tens of thousands of dollars to have your own private gym, or you can just head to a 24-hour gym late at night.
Yep. And we do have a 30-second commercial from 24 Hour Fitness, so we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Time is now, place is here to rest. Feeling the holes on my soul. I see, I like, I go, I get. No one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now.
All right, there you have it. 24 Hour Fitness. All right, looks like the players are doing the vetoes, so we'll make the lobby as soon as the vetoes have completed here. Again, this is Light versus Ro16. Best of 3. Whoever wins this will advance to the round of 8 and guarantee themselves a $25 prize or more, depending on how far they go into the tournament. Let's see here. Light is gonna go ahead and veto Year Zero. I find Year Zero to be one of the least popular maps by players. I don't see them being played in like tournaments that much, so I guess that's the reason. It's just not as favorable to a lot of players here. Oh, Sepulturus in the chat says, just did Light's PvP Stalker Prism and his PvZ Godeps build. 4 games, 4 wins. Awesome, man. Happy that you're getting your PvP and PvZ win from Light's build.
And I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
We are very lucky to have these sponsors providing a significant amount of the prize pool for this event. The largest prize pool we've ever had at Alpha X, $500 in total. And whoever advances from this match, and whoever advances from this group is guaranteed at least $25 US. Not bad for an afternoon's work.
Yep.
Though well deserved, considering the quality of opponent they have to break through in order to make it. And of course, they'll be playing for significantly more. The money doubles with each step you take. Making the quarterfinals is worth $50, making the finals $100, and winning the finals $200.
Yeah. We do actually, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out because I know some people have entered the coupon code. So thank you all to who have entered the coupon code, but also thank you to Access, who did a direct contribution of $10 to the tournament. So I appreciate Access for your $10 contribution to the tournament.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was thanks to people like you that Contenders was as successful as it was. It was originally a $50 tournament, went up to $150, and it was the success of Contenders that allowed champions to be created. So if it weren't for people like you, we may never have had this tournament to begin with.
Yep, for sure. And hopefully this can be a continuing event, because I think we do have a lot of excellent players here in Alpha X, so we love them to see them compete in this GSL style tournament here. hosted by, of course, our very own Salvanth.
Happy to help. I love those GSL style tournaments.
Same here.
That's why I wanted to run Contenders in the first place. I never really expected it to be that popular, but I did create the name Contenders so that we may possibly have champions later on. Why are you inviting us to Port, Snoopy?
We're playing on Port Alexander, right?
No, that's the pool. It's still... We still have to pick the map pool.
Oh.
Port Auto Cyber is the map pool, but that's not in order. We will be playing Port first after all, though. So Port Auto Cyber is actually going to be our order. I'm not sure if I may have primed them for that by putting it in that order. I hope not. Anyway, we will be playing Port Auto Cyber after all.
Okay.
Just make a live at me, why don't you guys?
Well, yeah, I guess they weren't in the party, so they wouldn't have gotten the invite anyway. So I guess
Yes,
it wasn't.
that's right.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't influence them, I guess.
No. I was just joking that I might have influenced them because I said Port Auto Cyber is the pool.
Ah, I see. Do you remember who was the one that asked for the no game privacy or no match history?
I believe it was Rodson, so we should probably just do that. I'm not sure why it really matters considering we're streaming this, but I'm willing to respect the players'
Yeah. All right.
requests. I guess it is harder to track down later on. Like if someone wants to see how you play 2 weeks from now, it's harder to be like, oh, they played in this internal clan tournament, let's track down the stream of them. Rather than just looking at their match history. Alright, another PvP. Light made extremely quick work of Parker Mike. We'll see if Rodson proves to be tough affair. We shall see if Parker Mike was watching the match against Rodson with Mamba, because knowing how aggressive Mamba is would be a very large boost to Parker Mike's chances of winning.
That would definitely be helpful to see how the Nidus plays, can prepare for that before facing against him.
It's generally the reason why cheesy players don't really succeed very much in tournaments unless you're someone like Haas or SOS who has an endless, bottomless bag of tricks. It's because eventually you do get figured out and it doesn't last forever. In the upper left, the NA Ladder Heroes alumnus. It is Light.
And spawning at the bottom right, we have the red Protoss player looking to insert some darkness over light. It is Ro16.
You can't co-cast with me anymore, Snoopy. Boy, if this weren't your stream, I'd kick you off it right now.
Gotta make those cheesy puns or phrases.
Have you no shame, sir?
I'll be like Cersei, you just say shame to me all over again.
Exactly. So both players opening pretty standard so far with the 2 gates. Rodson getting a slightly faster chrono boost on his Nexus, so he's a couple of seconds faster. Light still maybe figuring out his game plan. Here comes the cybernetics core from both sides, and we'll have to see what happens after that. Expansion or tech, and if so, what tech? That is the divergence point of PvP. 99% of the time you will see this 2 gates into cyber. And interestingly, Light has chosen not to scout Rodson. And he's sending his 23rd probe down to his Nexus, so I think he's just going to play very greedy. He's not going to scout, and I think he's going to take a fast expansion off Stalker Sentry. And he is scouting around for proxies now. But he's not actually scouting Rodson's base proper. which turns out to be a good move, considering that Ro16 is going for the Stalker Sentry. The interesting thing about players of this caliber, especially when they're both from Europe, is that they've played against each other many times in games we haven't seen on the ladder. There's a history here between the players that we are not privy to, and we can only guess by the way that they move around and play their different games.
Yeah, and I think... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you're at this level, everyone is someone you know.
I mean, it could even be your father or your mother playing on the other end.
Anyone who's unknown to Light or Ro16 probably isn't good enough to beat them anyway.
But yeah, I think PvP is you don't really, it's not as important to scout in the early game with your probe. I think because a lot of protoss go for the Stalker Sentry, and they can use their Sentry to hallucinate a Phoenix and just use that to scout instead.
Yes, that is very much true. You can get a much faster hallucination scout since a few months ago, allowing you to see what's going on. And the probe often does not really see very much. Okay, and Light will see the Oracle on its way, and he is getting a Twilight Council of his own, so that's a nice benefit to him. He's starting to get Blink already, and he will have to split up his units appropriately. It looks like he's just keeping all of his probes in the main base for now. No, he's going to send them to the natural. He knows where that Oracle was going. And yep, he is making a couple of Stalkers just in case he was wrong, just in case the Oracle is going somewhere else. But he knows that if the Oracle were to go all the way around to the main base, it would be too late, and this shield battery would finish fast enough. So an excellent split of units by Light. While in the meantime, Ro16 is not committing to this hard. He's going for a Robo and Forge himself and continuing to advance his technology. Just getting a couple of Oracles to try and do some damage, but there is already 3 Stalkers and a Phoenix here. We shall see how much they manage to get done. 2 Oracles, still very dangerous. Oh, only getting 1. And does get a Revelate off, but loses a lot of health on that Oracle. Stalkers do so much damage to Oracles now. And I'd say Light has a bit of an edge here, and he's making another gateway. He wants to get very aggressive with these Blink Stalkers. Ooh, sending a couple of Adepts across the map as well, getting 3 kills, trying for a 4th, but oh, gets 1. Gets 4 kills with 2 Adepts, warped out of that forward pylon. But I wonder if that might tip Ro16 off. Maybe Ro16 might get suspicious. Where did those Adepts come from? Did they come all the way across the map? I don't know. Meanwhile, the first Immortal on the way for Ro16. That's going to be absolutely key in fending off these Blink Stalkers. I think that's a good move by Ro16. He saw Light's Twilight. Is this the same kind of build that happened in game number 1 of Light vs Parker Mike that I didn't see?
Yeah, pretty much. Except Light did do some I guess extra damage with his Blink Stalkers. Parker Mike, on the other hand, he did get a bit more damage with the Oracles and the Adept, but that's a different case, as Ro16 didn't really get a lot of work kills with those Oracles. Yeah,
what I'm thinking is those very fast Immortals, the very fast Robo follow-up might be a reaction to what Light actually did against Parker Mike. Ro16 saw all these Blink Stalkers that killed Parker Mike, was like, I'm not going to let that happen to me. Yeah. And I don't think he will. He's going to have 2, he's got 2 Immortals out, he's got a bunch of shield batteries, there's no way these are going to break him. Although he will lose a couple of Zealots for free, which is not good. The Oracles did see this forward position, and they will go after the natural and try and get some probes, and they will get quite a few actually. There's not many Stalkers here to defend. 3 probes go down. But yeah, this is just going to be not a position that can be broken. Good force fields come down. Ro16 is never going to die to this. Oh, the Immortals actually can't fight. They're behind the force field, so a lot of units are going to go down. Again, Light's not going to kill Ro16 here, but that was a very good trade that Light made. But he is still behind. He's made a lot of these Stalkers that are just not going to be useful later on in the game. Meanwhile, the Oracle's flying in, getting more and more damage. The shield battery does nothing against 2 Oracles. Perfectly synced up, 5 probes killed, and I think he's just going to recall out, or maybe just fly out to the north. Rodson is doing extremely well against Light. That much better than Parker Mike, that's for sure. Meanwhile, a ton of charge lots being created for Light. He's just going to go for a gateway style attack. What is this, PVT?
Seems like it, right?
Light's all like, Rodson, you're cheating. I don't know what these large armored units are that you're making, but I don't think you're allowed to make them.
Well, this is very reminiscent of game number 1 of Light versus Paco Mike, as he did follow up with a charge lot timing here. Is it enough,
Good
though?
move with the Warp Prism. Oh, that's so many charge lots coming in, and the force fields help, but they're just not enough. So the charge lots are tanking so much damage. The Immortal's still alive, but if the charge lots can get on top of the Immortals, that would basically be it. But as it is, they can't. The Blink Stalkers are going to have to back away, because there's no way three Immortals are going to take long to chew through them. But actually, that was a good trade for Light, I'd say. He's evened up the supply counts. But, with these Archons, once these 3 Archons are made, that's going to be practically the death knell for this push. But he needs to buy time. And he has. Beautiful force field, kills 2 charge lots for free, sends Light scurrying back. I think Rodson's going to be just fine against this, but Light does have a 3rd base, remember.
Oh,
it's very interesting because Rodson has a huge tech advantage, but Light doesn't even have the economic advantage despite having 3 bases, because Rodson just keeps killing all of his workers. There's 20 combined kills on these 2 oracles.
Jesus Christ, these oracles are...
And Rodson's about to have +2 compared to +0. Compared to I don't even have a forge yet. This is a very weird game. Both sides very ahead in very different ways, but I think Rodson is ahead despite being down a base.
Yeah, with those upgrade advantages and the army composition wise.
The 2 Archons were in that Warp Prism!
Wow, that's a huge pick off.
Yeah, he's going to pick off every single Archon before he gets out. Oh wait, no, he's going to not quite get that one.
Oh, come on, snipe it, snipe it.
He's trying. He's gonna try, and he does get it in the end. So all but one of the Archons are now killed. Rodson is gonna lose those, but he does have a very decisive supply advantage. But Light's army is much more mobile than this.
Yeah, and he might actually cancel this dirt base of Roston, rather.
Rodson's charge lots are doing what they can. They're gonna kill a couple of Blink Stalkers, but yeah, he's forces the cancel on that base, putting Rodson in a worse position. Rodson, despite having a huge tech advantage, might find himself all in soon enough. He's making stasis wards. He's gonna try and trap these stalkers as they run.
Oh my god, that would be so beautiful.
Can he do it? Oh, he's gonna do it too. Look at this.
Oh,
here we go. Kaboom! And now what does Light have? He has a bunch of charge lots, and that's about it. All these stalkers are gonna be trapped, orphaned, on the other side of the map, while we have so many High Templars warping in. Another 3 Archons on the way.
Oh, here, Light is going to time this out.
Yeah, oh, he gets the Warp Prism again. Oh, Rodson. You're playing so well, but he's got one gap in his play, and that's protecting that Prism, but he's doing well defending with these Archons. And I think he just has too much. I just don't think it matters, but Rodson has to go now. GG comes out from Light. Rodson takes game number 1.
Oh man, Light almost held that, but just the army composition of Roston, and with the +2 upgrades as well, just too strong for Light to handle.
It always astonishes me how low Light's APM is, despite how good a player he is. Like, he's got the same APM as I do, and I'm pretty slow at my level.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's the living proof that APM is not everything in StarCraft 2.
Absolutely. He's very efficient with his actions.
Oh, Auto is the second map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Light may not be a fast player. He isn't everywhere at once, but he is always exactly where he needs to be. That is the key. If you can just be in the right location, you don't need to be in a bunch of locations at once. Of course, that is much easier said than done. And that's why Light is such a high-level player. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
But even so, Rodson proving to be more than his match that game. And now Rodson is one game away from advancing in first place out of this group and into the round of 8. Would be a bit of an upset going out ahead of the number 3 seed, although we did have our number 4 seed Uzi Cody get knocked out of the tournament in last place in his group last week, so anything really can happen
Yeah,
in a tournament like this.
he's one of our dragons, so we all thought he was going to advance, so that was pretty of a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, but even dragons can be slain. And here we go. In the bottom left. One game up in a very chaotic game. He beat Mamba. He's a game up over Light. Can he bring it home? It is Rodson.
And in the top right, we have our blue Protoss player looking to tie it up. It is Light.
We'll have to see what these players want to do this time. Automaton's such a great map for Stargate play. So many angles that you can attack from.
Yeah, and it's a pretty... If one of these players does open up for a Stargate on this map, it's a pretty quick flyover to the other side of the base or the map. So I think Stargate opening would be a nice, wise decision here.
Light delaying his first gas by a bit, taking them both at the same time. That's interesting. I'm not sure he's going to do anything specific with that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how different Protoss players have different gas timings, different gas openings, where one might delay it and just add the 2 gases at the same time, and then one might just add 1 at a time. So it's pretty interesting how they, the gas timings deviate for certain
I think
Protoss
it's just a
players.
Light thing, really. I don't think people normally do that. I don't think I've seen it very often at all. I always see the one and then the other.
Well, I've even seen some Protoss make 1 gas and then delay the second gas for a bit, but because they just mine the first gas with 3 probes immediately, and then they add the second gas a bit later. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how, it's...
Yeah. It's interesting indeed. Stalker Sentry Warp Gate from both players, so both players opening pretty much the same way so far. Again, those pylons going down near the naturals, preparing to take them, or at least to fake taking them. We'll have to see what both of them want to do as to follow up. I think Rodson wants to go for a Stargate based on his gas count. But he could just go for some more gateway units. Rodson's still in the main base, scouting away, but he will see the sentry, but it will fend him off. And Rodson knows he's safe to expand, so it looks like he's going to do just that, whereas Light is going to go for a Twilight Council once again. He likes his Twilight. And Rodson, I wonder if Rodson's going to actually delay his tech until he sees the tech of Light. That's actually something you can do in PvP now because of how fast you can send that hallucination across the map. And he's going for a Robo actually, so just taking it a bit late, but he is going to win the guessing game this time around. Whether it be Blink or DTs, a Robo is a good response to either one. And he will see the Twilight Council, will see the Blink starting. Will Light cancel it? I don't think he will. I think he just wants to go for the Blink. Blink is very good on a map like this. There's a lot of ways into the main base if you have an Observer or a Hallucination to get high ground vision. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Forge on the way for Rodson as well. The Robo Forge becoming more and more popular lately.
Alright, and there we have it, the Light proxy pylon. He likes to warp in that area, as he did the same proxy pylon area in the first game versus Paco Mike. So
I think he makes the gateway again. He likes this aggressive Blink Stalker opening. I think it's just a thing he likes to do a lot.
I mean, we've seen for a couple games now, his Blink Micro is pretty good, so...
Oh yeah, definitely. And this time Rodson could get caught with his pants down. He's making a warp prism, and I think he's sending a few units across the map. He's just going across the map with the warp prism, but he won't have the immortals out as fast. He's going for the warp prism adept style that we see a lot in PvZ, where it's very difficult to get that warp prism, and the adepts can go around harassing probes and such. But there's 2 gates on the way for Light. He's going for a much more decisive, much more aggressive timing, and there's still no immortal on the way for Rodson. He's only just now starting it. This could be really bad for Rodson, that's for sure.
Yeah, he made the warp prism initially, so that delayed the immortal count or the immortal timing. But this will allow him to ferry the adepts into the main base of Light and get some probe damage.
Yeah, and I would be very suspicious if I were Rodson right now. I'd be like, where the hell are your units? If there's only one stalker here, where's the rest of them? The hallucination sees it. And it's time for panic mode for Rodson. He needs to back up. There's a lot of stalkers here, and they just jump on top of the sentries and stalkers and start killing everything. One-shotting them. Oh, but one stalker does go down, preventing the one shot. The immortal does back away. The probes pulled off the line to act as shields.
Oh my god, look at this beautiful blink micro here.
Yeah, this immortal has to stay alive. It is absolutely the linchpin of the defense. And Light's actually got himself caught. He's going after the immortal, but at what cost? He's going to take it down eventually. But is it enough? There's so few units left for Light. He's going after the warp prism, and he gets it again.
Oh, but there is another immortal here. You got to be careful.
Yes, there is. And Light is down to 29 workers because he's taken so much damage on the other side of the map. 4 more stalkers warping in. But this immortal is now here. Another immortal is going to be on the way as soon as he can afford it. I think Rods is in a great position, actually.
Yeah,
Took out a lot of units with those 2 adepts. A lot of probes, I mean.
Yeah, and now he's ahead in workers as well as his again, the army composition is just more superior with the immortal. He does need a bit more
upgrades.
Yeah. But Light is going to go for round number 2.
He certainly is. The second immortal is so close from being done, and that's going to completely change the math of this fight, and it's finally done. And that's a beautiful force field. That immortal can't do a thing. Oh man, that is well done. One immortal goes down while the second one unable to participate in the fight, but now the second one does come back in, and Light forced to back away once again. Rodson making as many immortals as he can. He has to defend here. He knows he's ahead if he does. There's basically no tech for Light, and Light's down 10 workers. All Rodson has to do is hold here, and he will win this game and advance to the round of 8. More shield batteries, even a cannon being produced. Light, he needs to get that immortal to the shield batteries. Needs to protect it. Trying to snipe that zealot, doesn't quite manage it. More shield batteries, more cannons. I think Rodson's going to be just fine, actually. Charge is on the way, though. Light is preparing a follow-up because there's so much invested in the defense for Rodson that he knows he might be able to pull it off. He's going to go for that, charge lot follow-up once again.
Yep.
He likes this build. Light is always very entertaining with his builds. He does things that no one else does. Ooh, very quick snipe on that Stalker. These Stalkers are basically, their lifespan is nearly gone. They will need to wait on the charge lots to help defend them. And a couple of Adepts going across, completely just dodging everything of Light, and they're going to go to the natural of Light and get some damage done. One of the disadvantages of a style that involves warping in everything on the other side of the map is you've got nothing at home to defend.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Light whether he decides to recall his Stalkers or continue with the attack.
Yeah. Now remember, last time Rodson had a pretty big stockpile of gas, and he was able to warp in 3 Archons just as the charge lots were attacking. This time that will not be the case. He's only just now making the Templar Archives. He's got no gas to his name. But he does have a lot more shield batteries and can— What? The Warp Prism! Rodson! Mate! What are you doing? The shield battery's doing so well, though. All of these charge lots going down one by one, taking so long to chew through things. One Immortal does go down, but the second one still stands strong, and all these charge lots are gone. The shield battery energy is gone, but at what cost? Light is down 15 supply. He's lost 7 workers on the other side of the map as well. 8. Oh, that is a beautiful defense from Rods, and he knows this time around what's going on. He knows how committed this attack is, and now he will have an Archon to help. He's going to have 2 Immortals and an Archon against this just charge lot Blink Stalker army, and I think that that's going to be pretty much the nail on the coffin. Light had a big advantage in army supply, and now it's gone because of all the static defense, and now he's even in army supply, but with a weaker army. Yep, that Archon isn't even going to get killed. GG is called. Rodson advances in first place.
Wow.
2-0.
What?
Taking Light down, who looked so invincible against Paco Mike.
I know, right? I think most people was actually predicting Light to come out first in this group. So well done by Ro16. Alrighty guys, that means we have some more games by Light. So if you're a fan of Light, make sure to stay around, tune in for that 5th set, as he will face against the winner of the next upcoming match, which will be Paco Mike versus Mamba. So whoever wins that will face Light to see who will advance to the round of 8. This is shaping up to be a really crazy ending here, as there is a potential that Light does not make it out of the group.
Yeah, that would be quite the upset.
Yeah, for sure.
Although really no more of an upset than Uzi Cody not making it out. Alright, Paco Mike is here. I've let Mamba know that he'll be playing, and he'll be playing on NA.
Light saying, asking, that's in 1 hour? I think it usually takes like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but it's scheduled for an hour, but tell him that, yeah, it might be a bit sooner than that, considering that there's only one series.
Okay.
Let him know that considering the way Mamba plays, it could be significantly sooner than that. Not even kidding, this series might not last long. Yeah. Let's see where Mamba is. He's not responding just yet. Before you leave EU, could you message him in game? If you haven't left already.
Yeah.
Cool. He's showing us busy in game, but still message him. Tell him, yeah, he'll be playing on NA against Paco Mike. Okay, so we've seen some great games so far, and we have our first advancement from the round of 8. Paco Mike, Mamba, and Light will be fighting for survival and fighting for the final spot. One of Paco Mike and Mamba will be eliminated here. The other will advance to face Light for their chance at the round of 8. And the next group stage, as well as making it into the money.
Alright, let me go ahead and head over to NA here.
Once again, this tremendous tournament brought to you by Bubba Burger. 8 varieties of frozen burger. The perfect thing to have after a tough gym workout at 24-hour fitness. Or the perfect thing to work off afterwards.
Or the perfect thing to get while you're having a barbecue.
They really do work well together. Do you have barbecue in the US?
Yeah, we do.
There you go. Kind of an Australian cultural tradition.
Yeah, you can buy those Bubba Burgers and just customize it for your family members and friends while you're making those burgers on the grill. They're
Barbecued Bubba Burgers. That does sound good, as well as a liquid.
Yeah, get them barbecue sauce and whatever sauce you want. They're available in places such as Walmart and Target, so very easy to get them if you have a Walmart or Target nearby.
Target sells groceries in America?
Yep.
Man, now I've heard everything. Target's like a department store where I where I am.
No, oh, really?
Apparently, department stores in the US they sell groceries and such,
Yeah.
whereas in Australia it's like no, it's like Walmart is like two separate stores here. You've got your
Oh.
food section, you've got your food, and then you've got everything else. Basically, we have like Big W and Target, and they sell like everything Walmart sells except for groceries, except for food.
Yeah, so in America, like Walmart is like pretty much similar to Target. Like they they sell like pretty much like the same stuff in terms of like, you know, clothing and food and kitchen stuff or bathroom stuff.
Yeah, but they put like everything in the one store. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Wish I could get my food and like food and clothes in the same shopping trip at the same shop. That'd be nice.
yeah.
Just imagine you're like, all right, I'm gonna get these pants, I'm gonna get these burgers. No wait, let's get the size bigger in pants.
Oh wait, let me go ahead and go over to Europe to see if Mamba's still here. Let's see.
I did tell him his next match was scheduled for 7:15 EST, which is in 8 minutes. But I also tell people to be there like 15 minutes in advance, so members should be around. You should be ready to play.
All right, hopefully he'll be back soon.
So what have you been up to this week, Snoopy? Haven't really had a chance to talk with how fast and furious these games have been.
Well, I guess on Thursday, I believe it was Thursday, I had the honor of casting the Clem versus Hearthstone series, the Alpha Pro series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was I mean, it was this result ending score was a bit one-sided, but it was some pretty nice games. So yeah, it was
I bet.
yeah, both players of course are pretty strong European players, so yeah, I was happy to cast that. And then
Alright, member is here.
oh, nice. And of course, guys, remember there is a Alpha Pro Series tomorrow on Sunday, 7 a.m. It is going to be between Zest and Gumaho for a base prize of $100 plus Matcherino contributions. So make sure to tune in for that, because that is going to be a sick matchup. And of course, thanks to Sushi for hosting and getting all these great players to play in the Alpha Pro Series, which has become such a great event, a known event throughout the StarCraft 2 community. So yeah, thank you and shout out to Sushi for that.
Yeah, very much so. Sushi is definitely the heart and soul of this team.
All right, looks like we're going to get our veto underway here. Again, this is going to be Mamba versus Paco Mike. Whoever loses this is out of the tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a shame to lose such a strong player. Both such strong players, but in the end, that's what the tournaments are for. To find out who the strongest is at any particular week on any particular day. And some must lose so that others may win.
Yep.
Competition is harsh, but it is what brings out the best in them. Brings out the best in us all, and sometimes the worst, depending on how much of a temper we have. But these players don't have that. They're good. They're experienced. They know what they're doing.
Mamba's, guess I'm not a fan of the veto process here.
Indeed, and we are very much aware that it does give an advantage to the lower seed, It was in fact Sushi's idea, and he's bankrolling a significant amount of this tournament. And I do agree with the decision, because the tournament is already pretty biased in terms of the higher seeds, since they get the best groups and such.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to even it up. In this case, it does hurt Mamba a bit more than usual, because Parker Mike is taking on the role of one of our lower seeds. Normally, if Parker Mike and Mamba were to face off, Parker Mike would be the higher seed because he's higher ranked.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for Mamba, but that's how it worked out, unfortunately.
And I don't think the first veto makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, usually they vetoed like the worst map, so it's not too big of a deal, I don't think.
Yeah, it is definitely, as Mamba said, an edge to veto second because you get more information. For instance, if you really hate Cyber Forest and your opponent vetoes Cyber Forest first, then you get an extra veto, essentially. But still, it is skill that is going to determine the victor, much more than any other factor. Okay. Now we're just waiting on Parker Mike's map pick. Let's see, we have King's Cove, New Repugnancy, and Automaton again. Exactly the same map pools we had in our last PvZ, actually. Interesting.
Alright guys, once again, we do have a Matcherino for this tournament, so if you can go ahead over to the Matcherino page and type in the code AlphaXChampions1, you can contribute 50 cents to the tournament. You can type in exclamation Matcherino in the Twitch chat to bring up the link as well as the code. And then if you want to check out the bracket, the Liquipedia page, you can just type in exclamation bracket into the Twitch chat, which will bring up the Liquipedia page, courtesy of Nightbot.
Yep, and thanks to Cynical Death for creating this Liquipedia page for us and continuing to keep it updated.
Yep, for sure. Alright, looks like we have King's Cove.
Yep, King's Cove will be our first map. We shall see what Mamba picks for the second map. I'm guessing probably Automaton, because it's very good for those Nidus plays. We'll see if I'm wrong.
Ah, there you go. Automaton will be the second map.
I'd like to claim great prescience, but it was about a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Now, if Mamba does go for that Nidus build on Automaton, then I will claim I'll claim my rightful due.
Then I might have to ask you to guess my next lottery tickets.
And yep, we will be playing on East.
It shall be easy.
It shall be easy to pick the correct server. Although it often is not in this game. Alright, here we go. Mamba versus Parker Mike. Elimination match. Well, losers match. And one of the elimination matches. Here we go. It was fast and furious the first time around. A very, very quick series indeed. So hold on to your belts, people. we may not have very much time for chatting once we get into this. Unlike most PvZs, we can kind of, shoot the breeze for the first few minutes. By then, the game's already over here. In the upper left, losing a quick series delight, looking for redemption, it is Paco Mike.
And spawning at the bottom right, he is the green Zerg, the lover of all Niduses. It is Mamba.
We shall see if he goes for that 17-17 again. He did open that every game last time.
Yep, it's looking more and more maybe like it. Oh no, actually he's going for the hatch this time.
Interesting. Meanwhile, Paco Mike going for an interesting type of wall off. It looks like he wants to completely wall off the south area. And then presumably wall off the north a little bit later. So it looks like, at least for now, Mamba is not getting aggressive, although he certainly can get aggressive off an opening like this, although if you're going pool gas instead of gas pool, I highly doubt it. Oh, here comes the gas, and then we're going to see the pool. But so far this looks like a very, very normal open.
Sure does.
From both sides. So, I wonder if Mamba decided to pull those tricks specifically against Ro16 because he thought Ro16 was weak to him, or was a bit of afraid of what Ro16 might do. Paco Mike, on the other hand, an NA player. Mamba probably doesn't know him as well. Maybe hasn't played against him before. And Paco Mike does wall off that south section. Mamba wants to get any damage, he'll have to go around. Paco Mike will presumably wall off that as well in due time in the course of this game. Meanwhile, Mamba going for that quick third base, so yeah, gonna go into a macro game this time around.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that goes.
Now it's going to be up to Paco Mike to decide to see which tech he decides to go for as soon as the cybernetic core is done.
Yeah, he does in fact have the next point of divergence of this game after Zerg decides how they're going to open. Protoss decides their tech, and it will be a Twilight Council. Very interesting. There are a few different things you can do off this, but a lot of them are a little unconventional and a little aggressive.
Yeah, Twilight Council, one of those tech buildings that can deviate to many different things. It could be Charge, Blink, Glaive, Adepts, or it could be even DTs.
Yeah. Or it could just be an Archon drop. But usually I think you see the Robo first with that, don't you?
Well, usually you make the Twilight and then the Robo right afterwards. But there's no
but
Robo,
he's not doing that
so
here.
yeah.
So what are we going to see? We do see the Twilight Council, a deep Dark Templar, and it's very, very quick. How's he even going to get those DTs across the map?
Yeah, he doesn't have any proxy pylons or anything. He doesn't have a Robo to make those War Prism.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how he's going to play this out. I guess he's going to have to send out a probe pretty much right now. And he is. No, he's getting a Robo now at the front. But even so, it's going to be a bit late to get the Dark Templar out as soon as possible. This is a very strange build.
Maybe he forgot the Robo or something. I don't know. I don't think he did.
Doesn't seem like something someone of this caliber would do, but you know, it can happen. I've seen pro gamers make mistakes like that before.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe that is the case.
Seen like pro players miss like warp gate technology researching, or even Terran players forgetting stem as well, or combat shield.
Yeah. StarCraft is such a complicated game, no one can play it perfectly all the time.
Except Zero, he's perfect in all eyes.
Then why did he lose?
He just felt sorry, you know. He just
Gotta give other people a chance, you know? Gotta make it
yeah,
exciting.
gotta make it exciting.
I gotta say that Sue versus Cyril series was possibly the best series I've ever seen. I was so thrilled at that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Even though I was rooting for Cyril, I wasn't even disappointed.
I was rooting for both players. I mean, they're both awesome players, both fan favorites.
Absolutely. This Overlord is going to get stalked down and killed No pun intended. Who am I kidding? Pun absolutely intended. And now these DTs are going to come out, and we're going to see what they can get done. They are quite late, so I don't think they're going to get a ton of damage done in their DT form. But they could get a lot done as Archons, because there is no Roach Warren for Mamba. He's going straight into the Baneling Nest, and presumably into Hydras from here. Skipping some kind of necessary defenses, and there is actually... Ooh, no, there is an Overseer here. Ooh, the Queen's doing their thing. Are we going to have a Rods and Warp Prism here? Doesn't look like. As the DTs are attacking, and yeah, just because you can see him doesn't mean you can kill them. There's a lot of Lings spawning, but if he gets wedged into a nice position here, he's going to one-shot these Lings, and he's killed enough Queens that he can just come in and get these DTs out, although he only gets 2 of them out. So this is a pretty expensive harass already. He's going to take out the Queen. The Overseer is on its way to continue to do more damage, but yeah, he's going to get quite a bit of damage done with this, but not many drones, which is what he was probably hoping for.
Oh, but these Queens might snipe down those...
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness! Oh, this is not the day for Warp Prisms!
Process's worst nightmare is their Warp Prism being sniped down early in the game.
And now a Hydra Den. He's making a Hydra Den. The DT drop, he's lost all of his DTs, he's lost his Warp Prism, and he hasn't done any economic damage. This is not a good situation for Parker Mike at all. Once this Hydra Den's finished, I think we're going to see a big swell of like 14 Hydras or something. And this could be a very nasty attack, although on King's Cove, not as nasty as it otherwise might have been. But Parker Mike, oh, Parker Mike's going up for an attack. That's bad. So he's going to be forced to retreat from this. Until these Hydralisks are done, they won't be able to get much. Another Archon being produced. Some charge lots. This is a pretty motley crew of an attack. But it could do some damage, or it might just be there. Is it to clear up creep? No, there's no Overseer here. No, oh, there it is. There is an observer on the way. Might be able to deny this 4th base, actually. He's going pretty deep onto creep here, and these are some... That's a lot of Banelings. That's a good spread of units. I don't think Parker Mike can go in any further than that, especially with these Hydralisks now finishing up.
Yeah, and that centrifugal hook is about to be done, so those Banelings going to be really deadly.
Parker Mike now practicing that sharking style that we talked about earlier. Designed to stop Nidus backstabs because you don't really have the time as Zerg to pull them off. A Ling run by attempt does happen, but with these Zealots here and a lot of them being intercepted before they can make it to the base, they shouldn't achieve a ton of damage. And we have a Robo Bay coming up from Parker Mike, so this means either Disruptors or Colossi, and with the amount of Lings and Banes out there, I think it's going to go be Colossi.
Yeah, I mean, Colossus does extra damage against those light units, which is pretty much the composition of Mamba, so it's definitely the right decision, I think.
The problem with Colossi is not how they do against Hydraling Bane, it's how they do against everything else. And in this case, Mamba is not going for anything else, he's going for that Hydraling Bane. 4th base does go up for Parker Mike, as he gets a 2nd Robo, so Colossi is definitely going to be the tech of choice for a while. I like this wall from Parker Mike at his 3rd base, that's very nice. He is fully prepared for these run-bys, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that looks beautiful for sure.
He only has one spot he has to defend, and that's that 4th base, though it may be difficult. It's a very open-ended location. But Mamba doesn't actually have a ton of units, so he won't really be able to put in a lot of pressure. If he wanted to get very aggressive with this, he'd probably be basically maxed out by now. But he's going for an infestation pit, so he's going to proceed. He's going to continue his tech, presumably go into the late game.
I would like to see Mamba. Okay, now he does it. He was earlier spreading those creep really nicely, but for some reason it stopped spreading. But now he's focusing back on it. So now those creep is gonna get further into Parker Mike's space, and I think that's when Mamba might want to go ahead and attack him.
Oh yeah, Parker Mike's done a brilliant job of keeping this creep back. And yeah, Mamba could have been doing a better job of spreading it as well, but Parker Mike's definitely doing well there. We still don't see a Templar Archives, actually. He's saving all of his gas for Colossi. He's just... Oh, no, he does have... He made 4 Dark Templar, not for Archons. He can actually backstab with them when these Hydralisks move out.
Oh, it actually gets... might get
Yeah,
spotted.
but there wasn't an Overseer, that's the thing. And this forces the Hydraling Bane back. It is spotted. Parker Mike doesn't know it's there. But he's sending his army across the map anyway. There's no Storm. I think he might want to turn some of those High Templar into Archons. Storm is still about 30-40 seconds away. He does have 2 Colossi, which will help out significantly. But this could be a very nasty... Oh no! This is not the flank that Mamba wanted. He's losing all of his Hydralisks on the north side of the map, and suddenly Parker Mike's up 25 supply. This attack is not gonna work anymore. This High Templar scout is a bit questionable. But it doesn't even matter. Parker Mike has so much, Mamba has so little. Oh, that is beautiful force fields, beautiful splitting. Oh man, that's just so well done. But there's so many Banelings though. The spreads are good. And the storm is now about to be finished, and these High Templar are still untouched. Man, Parker Mike keeps all of his tech units alive.
Yeah, in the meantime, he's killed 22 drones at the natural.
And a hatchery!
Oh my god.
Oh, Parker Mike, that is just brilliantly played. 7 more DTs being produced. I don't even know where. The Overseer isn't even here. Mamba is in complete and utter disarray. And the DTs get out. 2 more Colossi being produced, a couple of Vipers being produced for Mamba, but he just doesn't have the economy or the army anymore. I wouldn't be surprised to see Parker Mike max out, go across the map, and kill Mamba. Oh man, part of it Mamba's mistake, part of it Parker Mike's skill, but Parker Mike takes such a big lead over Mamba right now.
Yeah, definitely we'll have to give the edge to Parker Mike, and he's ready. He's looking to maybe attack. Actually, I think he's just maybe looking to clear out the creep tumor and then maybe retreat, because he doesn't really need to attack right now.
No, he does not, but he might be planning to do it anyway. I mean, there's nothing but Hydraling Bane against 4 Colossi and like 8 Storms. But yeah, he's going to back away. He's going to, I think, just max out. Well, he's nearly maxed out already, actually. He could just attack. Maybe he doesn't realize quite how ahead he is right now, but he could attack and absolutely kill Mamba here. But I think with this last warp in, he's going to do just that. He could bring these other 2 Colossi, and he's going to have 6 Colossus against Hydraling Bane and maybe a few Vipers. The Vipers could help abduct the Colossi, but there's way too many of them. Fleet Beacon on the way as well, just as an insurance policy. I don't think the greatest arc in the world, I don't think it's going to make a big difference here. Oh, but that is actually a beautiful engagement. Parker Mike is forced to retreat, storming as he goes, but there's just so much for Parker Mike. I think this is the best engagement Mamba could have possibly hoped for, but it just doesn't matter. GG is called. And Parker Mike takes game number 1. Again, proving APM does not matter as much as you'd think.
Yeah.
Mamba's an extremely fast player, but it didn't pay off for him this time. Okay,
all right,
next map is Automaton.
Okay, Automaton. All right. Sorry, I just had to reset the scoreboard because I forgot to change the names from last series, but now it's all good, and we're heading into our second game here, Automaton. And let me go ahead and invite all the players, as well as you.
Sounds good. Mamba is just 1 game away from being eliminated from Alpha X Champions. I wonder if we're going to see the return of the Nidus. I wouldn't be surprised on a map like this.
Yeah, I mean, Mamba, of course, in the second set, really love his nice play. It did it in all 3 games, I believe, right? all 3 games?
I did it twice. In
Okay.
game 3, he played a more macro style, but he did it off a proxy hatch opener to harass the natural.
Right. Well, yeah, he still ended up making a Nidus, I think, that game.
Yeah, but I think that was more of a desperation play than anything else because he lost like 30 drones to
Yeah.
those Glodepts. I don't think that was part of his plan all along. Might have been a Roach Queen attack on the 3rd base, though. That could have been his plan from the start. In the bottom left, 1 game up, looking to go up and face light once again, looking for revenge. It is Parker Mike.
And spawning at the top right corner of the map, it is the Green Zerg. Looking to tie up the series and hoping to keep his tournament hopes alive, it is Mamba.
And let's see what we see. It looks like another hatch first. Looks like Mamba not going to go for the same build. Not going to go for the Nidus play this time around. Very interesting indeed. I guess it was a response to Ro16 specifically.
Yeah, possibly. But you did make a good point earlier on that Mamba probably hasn't faced Paco Mike as much because he's on the EU server while Paco Mike plays on the NA server. So probably just going to play it safer compared to when playing against Ro16.
Yeah, I guess Mamba's like, okay, I know what caused me to lose that game. There's a bit of an unusual tech choice from Paco Mike. He lost a bunch of hydras on the north side. A few changes definitely could bring him to victory here. And Automaton is a pretty good map for... Well, I guess it really depends on the tech. It's also a very good map for double Stargate Phoenix too.
Yeah, we
Good
haven't
map for Mutalisks.
we haven't actually seen double Stargate Phoenix throughout the whole night, so it'll be a nice touch and nice surprise if he does decide to go for that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like to see those Phoenixes.
Or maybe
We'll see.
even double Stargate Oracles. we
haven't seen that in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm surprised because we've seen how Oracles are so good against Hydralisk. They kill them so fast because of the Hydralisk nerf. And yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't seen that as much in the meta.
Yeah. The players tend to take their cues off the top Koreans, and the top Koreans don't really do the build because I think it's Rogue who kind of mapped out exactly what to do against that. You make like a triangle of spores at each base and get a bunch of corruptors that can fend them off really well. Actually, that was double Stargate Phoenix. Rogue fought that off so well, I wasn't sure why anyone ever did it again after that. But then no one copied him. I don't know why. Back when double Stargate Phoenix was getting popularity, this was like a year ago. And the Adept will go in and see the lair timing, lack thereof, rather. And they presumably will shade into the natural next and see the drone count, and we'll be like, okay, nothing unusual is happening. Good scouts from Paco Mike. And we'll get out as well. Try and go after a drone. Ooh, and you just might get it. Nope. Spore Crawler will be made. Good reflexes from Mamba. And this Adept will get out alive. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, Mamba scouting everything that he needs to know. Although, unfortunately for him, there's not really much to see yet. Paco Mike is yet to commit to his course of action, as he sends his first Oracle across the map. Now he's making the Robo. We'll have to see if he makes a Twilight next. Looks like this could be an Archon drop. He did see the skipped roaches before, and ooh, this Oracle taking a lot of damage very quickly, and 3 spores being made to keep them alive against this Oracle. And presumably 2 of them will be cancelled. Oh no, all of them. So what will Paco Mike do from here? He's got a Stargate, he's got a Robo, but not really a ton of tech. There comes the Twilight Council, so I think we may... And 2 more gates, so I think we are going to see an Archon drop. Which I like, because Mamba did skip Roach's last game. And the Archon drop could do very well.
Yeah, and this Phoenix killing all the Overlords will allow him to kind of fly his Warp Prism with the Archons all over the place without being detected and hopefully catch Mamba off guard.
Yeah, we'll see if we can finally get a Warp Prism to stay alive in this game. It hasn't been a good day for Warp Prisms in general.
Indeed.
Zerg has gotten so good at sniping it. Even, well, Light sniped like 3 Warp Prisms against Rodson in one game. In the first game they played. And let's see if these Adepts can get any drones. They do get 1, they do get 2. Oh, they get 3. Very nicely done. Keeping them alive just long enough to get some damage done, as well as some scouting. And Mamba is getting a Roach Warren this time around, as the Templar Archives is nearly done. And there goes the Warp Prism flying across the map. A bunch of Lings going to come over to try and deny this third base, and there's actually nothing here to defend it, so that might actually work. There's only an Adept. Here comes... Oh, he's forced to warp in units at home to defend this third base, which is not what he wanted when he's doing an Archon drop. You don't want to have this Warp Prism coming home. So the Archon drop won't actually... Looks like it won't actually happen, or it will happen very, very late indeed. A few Lings deny that for a solid minute. Very well done. As Baneling Nest comes up from Amber.
Alright, so I guess we're just going to go ahead into the mid to late game here. Nothing, both sides not taking any significant amount of damage, so just going to go ahead and just try to build up their army and then get their upgrades as well. And harass, I guess, in the meantime.
Indeed, getting an Overlord does that Phoenix and just manages to get out alive. 3 kills on that Phoenix so far, actually. It's been an Overlord killing machine. And I think we're going to see another couple Overlords go down to these Archons as well. Those Overlords not over creep, so they can't fly as fast. I thought it was funny. Tough crowd. Phoenix will fend off these Overlords still further. Queens will come off to deny that. Meanwhile, we do have the tech progressing for both sides. We've got a bunch of charge lots for Parker Mike. He's walling himself off nicely. I like these walls. He's making it the third base. They're always very good. Fending off against Baneling or Ling run-bys. Well, this one Ling is actually getting into the mineral line, but will get taken down in the end. And we might see a bit of an attack from Parker Mike. Very interesting. He's using this Warp Prism as a threat to force units to stay in the main base while he attacks elsewhere. And he's got an Observer, so he can just take out a bunch of creep. And again, this sharking style, more and more popular these days, as the 5th base does go down just out of Parker Mike's sight. If he knew this was there, he could absolutely go and crush it. But he might not actually know where it is. But if he goes that way to retreat, he might pick up a nice juicy morsel on his way. But it looks like Mamba continuing to follow this and wants to attack, does not want to lose this 4th base, that's for sure. Good sharking from Parker Mike, continues to, gets a queen, very nice. Still playing with fire. If this engagement happens on creep, it will not go well for Parker Mike, and Parker Mike does not actually get this 5th base. He does not know where it is.
Oh, but you might actually get this gold base, which is really a nice pick off.
Yeah, he sees it. That is the 5th base, the gold base, and he does see it now, I believe. Did he see it?
Yeah, he saw it.
Yeah, he did, but he chose not to attack it. Interesting. Charge lots going into the main base and trying to get some harass done as the army retreats home. But they won't get a ton done. And he chooses just back away. Ooh, won't even get the queen. Nicely done by Mamba. And now Mamba has enough supply to really begin attacking if he chooses to. He's actually got a lot of Ravagers. It's Ravager Ling Bane, so this is not a late game army by any means. This is a very aggressive army. And with all these Storms, Archons, and Immortals for Parker Mike, I actually don't see it doing much. This is kind of the army you throw against 130, 140 supply Protoss. This is 160 supply Protoss. But there is going to be... Oh man, Parker Mike's moving out. This could actually be very nasty for him. He's not with his static defense and he's going to get completely caught out. He tries to advance up the ramp and Mamba's already here. And oh my god, a bunch of High Templars get hit with the corrosive piles. Oh, this is probably the best engagement Mamba could hope for. He's going to try and sandwich this as it tries to go up the ramp. Good Storms go down. Oh, but Parker Mike manages to somehow just squeeze through the pincer and get back to safety. playing on a razor's edge, these two players are. Mamba is one game away from elimination. He's making 26 more banelings. He has to break Pucker Mike right here and right now. This is not an army that will survive later on. A mass of banelings swarming towards Pucker Mike's forces, but the storms are so strong. The stasis wards as well, and suddenly Mamba's baneling force is absolutely obliterated. This is a beautiful defense from Pucker Mike.
But he is out of storm, so he needs to beat this army with the remaining Archon army that he has.
Yeah. Still has Archons and Immortals, which are very strong units. The banelings do unstasis, but they're forced to back away. The Oracle doing damage little by little from the skies. The Archons and Immortals just so strong, and the shield battery just protects that last Archon. Pucker Mike takes the supply lead, and I think he's definitely fended this off. GG is called, and Pucker Mike advances to face Light in the revenge match.
What a defense. I mean, that tech looked really scary, but he somehow did it.
Yeah, he had the supply, he had the units. I thought he might be done for when he moved out to fight, but he managed to just fend it off in time.
And there you have it. Mamba will be out of the tournament. Pucker Mike will advance to the ace set against Light. That's going to be one heck of a series there. It's going to be a rematch of set number 1.
Yeah, it was very one-sided. We'll have to see if things can be different this time around.
Alright, I think Light might still be on the EU server, so I'm just going to head on over and see if he's there, and then tell him to come in over to the NA region.
Sounds good. I've told him he's up. And I'll be right back while you do that.
Alright. All right. Just letting the guys know that they can start the map vetoes. Guys, we are on our last set of the night. It will determine who will advance to the round of 8 and whose tournament hopes will be dead. Two great players, Light and Pucker Mike, a PvP best of 3. Type into the Twitch chat who you guys got coming out of this group. Will it be Light or Pucker Mike? It's gonna be a really great series, I predict, because these both of these players is awesome. Oh, looks like Pucker Mike will need 2 minutes. So, in the meantime, as we wait for the players to come back and do the map vetoes, this is probably a good time to go ahead and head on over to the bracket, the Wikipedia page. Again, we are in Group C, round of 16. In Group A, we had Art and Burning advancing. Group B, we had Bio Ice and Hino advancing. Rosden just advanced here in Group C. We're looking to see who will be the last player to advance. And then Group D, again, will be on next week, possibly, depending on WCS schedule of the players. But if all is well, then we probably have it on April 20th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And once that wraps up, we'll be heading into our group stage 2 round of 8, which is gonna be a pretty sick group on both ends, both in Group A and Group B. And then, of course, that will determine the top 4 who will be advancing to the semifinals, and then which will be a best of 5, and then we'll head into the finals, which will be a best of 7.
I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
I see you've just been checking out the Liquipedia page.
Yep.
Yeah, we are more than halfway done, nearly 3/4 done with our round of 16, and we're definitely seeing the remaining groups form now.
Yeah. Looks like Paco Mike needs a 2-minute break. So while he is taking that 2-minute break and the players prepare for the map videos, let's go ahead and talk about one of our sponsors again, 24 Hour Fitness. They've been one of our wonderful sponsors, and for over 30 years, they have been dedicated to helping people achieve their fitness goals. They have over 436 locations, fully equipped with weights, cardio machines, studio classes, and awesome personal trainers. And let's go ahead and show them a 30-second commercial ad from 24 Hour Fitness. So we'll be right back after these ads.
Time is now, place is here to rest. Feeling the holes on my soul. I see, I like, I go, I get. No one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now.
All right, there you have it. 24 Hour Fitness. You can actually try them out 7 days for free. And then if you like them and want to continue, you can have a membership with them. And yeah, 24 Hour Fitness. There you have it. Thank you for being one of our sponsors.
Yep, definitely wouldn't be able to bring this tournament to without them, or at the very least wouldn't be able to pay the players anywhere near as much, which is nice because they spend a great deal of time practicing and training for these tournaments for our amusement. It's good to be able to support them, support our Alpha X Dragons, and those who prove that they can hang with dragons, the Dragon Slayers.
Yeah. All right, looks like we have our map videos underway.
Fast and Furious.
You know, it's really interesting how I thought Kairos Junctions was one of the players' favorites, but they've been vetoing it a lot tonight.
I don't think we've played it once.
Yeah, which is really odd and interesting at the same time.
Light definitely wants to play Auto.
Yeah, he does have that little proxy pylon blink stalker into charge lot thing he does in Automaton, so I think that's his go-to build there.
He does that a lot, though it didn't really work for him against Rodson very well.
Yeah, but it did work for him against Paco Mike in the first set, so
That's true. We'll see if Paco Mike's been watching his matches against Rodson and figuring out how to handle that.
yeah.
Looks like a lot of static defense is the answer, and seeing it coming. Alright, so first game will be on Port Alexander.
All right.
The first game of our final series of the day. Paco Mike versus Light, the rematch. We'll see if it can be less one-sided than before. Paco Mike took out Mamba, but now a Titan stands in his way. The number 3 seed Light is beaten by Rodson, but now looking to get out and get his revenge later on.
All right. I asked earlier for the people in the Twitch chat to type in who they think is coming out, and it looks like Sushi's going with Paco Mike because he thinks Light is too sleepy. It's like around almost approaching 1 a.m. at EU time where Light is at.
Yeah, that's why we can't play this tournament any later, despite the fact that it starts 6 a.m. for me. Because that would be too bad for our players. And at least if I'm warming up while commentating, I don't lose money as a result. Does take me a few games to get into things when it starts this early, but we're in it now, that's for sure. In the thick of it. Mike versus Light, the final match. And what a match it should be. In the upper left, defeated very quickly in the first series, but now he's prepared, he's watched, he's learned, he's ready. We have the technology to rebuild him. It is Mike.
Oh, got the wrong name there. Let me go ahead and do that again. Get the right name this time around. Mike. Alright. Spawning at the bottom right. We had the blue Protoss player. Might be a bit sleepy, but is determined to make it out of this group and head into the round of 8. It is Light.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens in this game. Both sides looking like they're opening pretty standard, at least for now, with the same gas timing.
Yep, and probably might be the same opening, just 2 gate into Stalker Sentry.
Yeah. Been playing any games other than StarCraft lately?
Personally I haven't. I'm thinking of getting back into playing a lot more, but sometimes it could be difficult because of you know, schedule and time.
Yeah. Full-time work. It's the worst.
I do want to stream a bit more as well, so hopefully I can do so in the near future.
That would be nice. I'll have to see if I can find a place with streamable internet when I move.
Then hopefully you can stream yourself and maybe get some Twitch affiliate status.
Exactly. That'd be fun. I know a few people in the clan have wanted to see a Salavanth stream for a long time.
Oh yeah, I do for sure.
Why, don't quite know, but I'm not going to question good fortune. If people want to listen to me, I'm not going to ask too many questions. I may not want to know the answers. And we have another Stargate from Mike. It seems to be his modus operandi in this matchup, or at least against Light. Well, Light's going to go for a fast expansion.
Yeah, it looks like Light. I mean, he's been making some fast Twilight Council. So I'm wondering if he's going to actually go for a Twilight Council after this Nexus here. I mean, that would be probably the best answer. Oh, there we go. Twilight Council. Best answer against the Stargate play of Mike.
Indeed. We'll have to see what Mike wants to do. We'll have to see if these Adepts manage to get through. Light's a pretty good player, so odds are probably won't get through. We'll have to see how quick Light is on the draw, and he is very quick. Doesn't even make it look close.
Yeah, shame on us for even attempting to doubt him.
Well, after the amount of times I've seen myself and my ladder opponents fail that.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling.
Adepts are just so good, even in low masters, because sometimes they will just get in and get like 5 probes. But Light is much better than low masters.
Just slightly, you know, just slightly.
Yeah, he'd probably beat me like, I don't know, 4-3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
By which I mean he'd beat me 4 times, then take a break, then beat me another 3 times.
Alright, here we have it. Mike with the Adept, but... not the Adept,
Yeah.
the Oracles, I'm sorry.
Adept and Oracles moving in, but the Adepts will find nothing, and the Stalkers will...
Oh!
Ooh, snipe the Adept! Oh man! The Adepts try and go in. This time the Adept will get through, but there's going to be so many units here that they're just not going to... Oh, they shouldn't finish up, but they do! And even a force field! Oh man, Light is just defending against this beautifully, but that was not a good finish of the Shade. He's lost an Oracle, he's lost 2 Adepts, and he's only gotten a couple of probes for it. Light is in a really commanding position now, and I think that he doesn't have a proxy pylon, so it doesn't look like he's going to go for the Light special. Though I suppose he still could, with the Warp Prism. Will he go for that Charge-Lock Blinkstalker play again? I don't know. I think with all the Stalkers he's making, he probably will. Oh yeah, there's no way this Oracle gets out alive, right? Where's the blink? Oh, it's not actually done.
Oh, but he still might get it. Oh, no.
my god. 4 hit points left. I thought the blink was done, but it was not.
Oh, but
They are going to chase it down, but the Oracle will get away.
Or maybe he could find him. It's like a hide and seek, you know.
Yeah, he's going to try.
Oh,
Like secret with
it's
knives.
flying over. Oh my god, another missed opportunity there.
Still gets away. Wow.
Yeah, Oracle has 9
And here comes
lives.
the pylon, the proxy pylon. Light's doing it again. Light, you so tricksy. Twilight Council going down though. Parker Mike's continuing to develop his own tech. We do have 2 more gates on the way, and we'll presumably see another couple of gates coming down. At least one at this proxy pylon, and here comes one. It's going to start with the Blink Stalkers and then go into a bunch of charge lots, just like before. But this time we'll see if Parker Mike is ready to fight this. He does have an Immortal. 2 Immortals. This seeming so far very much like the game against Ro16, actually. The game with Ro16. And Ro16 did win that game. Parker Mike's doing well, he's got his 2 Immortals out. He needs to be prepared for the charge lot follow-up, but I think he should be prepared this time for what's happening. A couple of sentries being warped in as well. So Parker Mike will need to spread his units out a little bit more. It's possible that these Immortals could actually be force-fielded off from the rest of the army if he's not careful. Meanwhile, Parker Mike's getting charged as well. Light's down to 36 workers after just losing 5 workers, and he's not making very many more. He's actually only on 2 gases because he's going to be making charge lots from here on out. So he's very much committed to this push.
Yeah, no probes on the production tab, and looks like
40 is all he needs.
charge is about to be done.
Yeah, and it's not yet done for Parker Mike. Although the Zealot versus Zealot charge doesn't matter as much. The Zealots sort of collide into the other Zealots. They do like an extra shot because of the charge damage, but it's not as huge as it otherwise would be. Still matters, but not as much. Force field goes down. Ooh, not a very good force field actually. Doesn't really cut off much of the army. Oh, that one was a good force field though. Takes out 3 Zealots for free. And a lot of shield battery energy too.
Yeah, looking good so far.
Yeah, he's getting some good force fields, but he's basically out of force fields now. Oh, but this... Ooh, the Immortal just gets behind that shield battery. The shield battery energy is now gone. Parker Mike is doing very well with his defense. And charge is done. He doesn't have any Archons, but he does have 3 Immortals and a bunch of charge lots now. His army is just much better prepared for this than Light is. But he needs to back... Oh no, he's fighting at his ramp because his shield batteries aren't in use anymore. That's actually really clever. Moving forward in response to his shield batteries running out is not something you normally think of doing. And he uses up the charge to bash those Stalkers and send them back, and then just retreats. Parker Mike's playing so much better in this series than he was the previous one. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
But Parker Mike's... Yeah, he's got that observer there that sees exactly where the army's going. That's really well done. Man, he's going great. Can he hold this? Time is on his side, despite the fact that Light already has a 3rd base. Because Light is not really teching up. He's not getting upgrades. He's not getting more advanced tech units. The more Immortals and Archons Parker Mike produces, the better off he is. Ooh, a couple of Adepts going into the natural, though. I like that from Light. He's going to snipe quite a few probes here. Forcing him to the safety of the shield batteries, forcing some units to be warped in or sent back. In the meantime, he's got a Zealot on the forward location of Light, forcing the army backwards. And Parker Mike's actually lost 11 probes to this.
Oh wow, that's a huge
So
turnaround.
he's sending some charge lots of his own into the 3rd base of Light. So both sides doing a lot of economic damage to the other as Parker Mike moves around, tries to keep up with Light's army. He does have 4 Archons now. These charge lots are not as useful as they once were. And Parker Mike's just going to go for it. He's going to fight. Light's trying to spread out his units, trying to snipe these Archons one by one. But oh, and it's actually doing a very good job. The Archons not doing as well as they could be, but all of the charge lots are almost gone, and the Immortals are still alive. Can Light do it? It's so close. The supplies are so even. 13 probes down on the other side of the map. And in the end, Light, but Parker Mike holds yet again. And in the meantime, all of his units at his third base are down. The worker count has been evened up yet again. And a bunch more charge blocks warping in for Parker Mike.
Yeah, but look at the upgrade lead for Parker Mike, 2-0.
Exactly. He's still got 3 immortals. He's getting another Archon. He's in a fantastic position.
Yeah, and Light is yet not taking to any of those higher tier units.
2 more adepts going to the main yet again. These adepts doing so much damage.
Oh, nice.
15 probes have gone down.
Holy cow.
And Parker Mike's just attacking. He's going after Light now.
Oh, but he takes
The
out the
Warp
Warp Prism.
For once, can we have a game where the Warp Prism stays alive?
This is just not what Warp Prism's night.
This is not safe for Protoss. Oh man. Parker Mike was doing so well, but these adepts just doing so much damage. I wonder what... I don't even know who's ahead right now. Because Light seems to be ahead, but I guess he's getting a Templar Archives now. But again, it's 2 upgrades up for Parker Mike, and it's going to be 3 upgrades pretty shortly.
Yeah.
What do you do against someone who's 3 upgrades ahead of you? Light's moving out again with a bunch of Charge Drops and Blink Stalkers. Again, not going for the Immortals. The Adepts coming in again, but this time these 2 Charge Drops are finally going to take out that Warp Gate. And take out this forward positioning. After it's taken out about 40 probes. But better late than never, I suppose. And Light is preparing to attack again, I think. But he's going to have a few Archons with him this time. But they will be 0-0 Archons.
Oh my, these...
Parker Mike's so far down in supply, though, so far down in workers, he's forced to continuously rebuild them. These Light is a master of adepts. If there was one unit that Light really used better than any other, it would be the adepts. Even in PvZ, as a 1-base adept build that's actually really nasty that we didn't see today, because he hasn't actually played against any Zergs.
Yeah.
The adept is definitely his best unit, his greatest accomplishment, and now, Light is up. Parker Mike is up 2 upgrades, but Light is up 30 supply. The army and the Archon count is the same for both sides now. This could actually be Light's moment. He's up nearly 50 supply, and +3 is not yet done. There's so many Zealots. There's just too many Zealots. GG's called for Parker Mike, and Light takes game 1 with some heroic Adept harass. Parker Mike doing so much better this time around, but not well enough. If he could have just fended off those Adepts, he would have won that game.
Yeah, you gotta give those MVPs to those Adepts. just harassing the mineral line like no other's business. My god.
I don't even know who I'm cheering for. I want them both to win.
I'm gonna cheer for the Alpha X player.
I'm gonna cheer for the Protoss. There, we both know who we're cheering for.
Yep, that settles it. I'll bet you $1 million that happens.
You're on.
Oh, I forgot.
You win $1 million if an Alpha X player wins. I win $1 million if the Protoss wins.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Alright, we're into what could be our final game, but I hope it's our penultimate game. On Automaton, Light's chosen map, the one he definitely wanted to play on. In the bottom left, 1 game up. Facing tougher resistance than expected, but still breaking through, 1 game away from advancing, it is Light!
And spawning at the top right, we have the red Protoss player. Hopefully he can pull this game out so we can get our epic Salvanth player introduction next game. It is Paco Mike.
We shall just have to wait and see.
Indeed.
So why do you think Light wanted Automaton?
Well, I think that build of his where he just go for that proxy pylon into gateway and just get some blink stalker similar to what he did last game actually. I think it just works out really well because the natural, it has a big opening, so you can get a big concave, big attacking area so that your charge lot doesn't get stuck in the ball. So I think Automaton just works well with that build of his that he likes to do.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. It's also worth noting it's a good map for Stargate, which Light's build is kind of designed to beat with the early blink. I don't know if designed to beat, but at least it does well against it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good build.
Yeah, I might start copying it.
Although I think Parker Mike has figured it out, he just needs to defend his natural better against those adept run bys.
Yeah, he was looking pretty good except until those adept run bys just did so many economic damage that like just over macroed him at the end.
Exactly. Just managed to swarm toss him. Again, Light, not really scouting. I'm surprised Parker Mike hasn't taken advantage of that.
Yeah, could have gone for a cannon rush or something. I don't know. Take advantage of that.
Some sort of proxy.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've seen in PvP the proxy like 3-gate or 4-gate Zealot rush, and if you don't scout that, you can actually lose to that pretty easily.
Yeah, that would be a pretty effective way to make use of that lack of scouting. But Parker Mike's going for a fast Nexus, choosing to play greedy rather than play aggressive. Light is scouting everywhere around for a proxy, so I guess a proxy may not have been the best move. But Light will also take his own expansion, only about 15 to 20 seconds slower, and Parker Mike is going for a Twilight Council this time. Very fast, faster than Light even.
Yeah.
Which is faster than anyone should be able to get a Twilight Council, because you can't go faster than Light.
Guys, type into the Twitch chat. Salavan, great jokes. Hashtag it.
I feel like I should kick myself out of the channel for that one. And a very quick blink from Parker Mike. I guess that's one way you can go faster than Light, by teleporting. So I wonder if Light's going to go for the same thing again. If we get a Stalker versus Stalker battle where Parker Mike has blink and Light does not, that could prove very, very bad for Light.
Oh yeah. I mean, both players are gonna have blink, but that window where Parker Mike does have to blink and Light doesn't, that could spell big disaster.
Yeah, and Light's going for another couple of adepts, but we do have Stalkers in position this time around. They don't have blink yet, but they pretty soon will. Forge is on the way for Parker Mike. We still don't see a Robo from him either, so we won't actually have those Immortals, but those Immortals are better against Stalkers than they are against Zealots anyway. And he should be just fine against the Blink Stalkers of Light with his own Blink Stalkers. And yeah, I would like to see Parker Mike. Yeah, Parker Mike is sending a Stalker out to investigate for that forward position because he knows it could be coming. He wasn't born yesterday, and he sees it. So he's going to take out that forward position, and he's getting a forward position of his own. He's decided if you can't beat him, join him. Or fight fire with fire. He's decided on some sort of proverb anyway. One probe will go down, but that's still approximately 5% of the damage that those adepts did last game. Parker Mike does get his own Robo up, leaving a Stalker there to attack the pylon and make sure Parker Mike can't establish a foothold there. Light forced to establish a foothold even further to the west, while Parker Mike is already moving across the map and making a Dark Shrine.
Oh.
So Blink will be done for Light, and he does have a couple of shield batteries, but Light is also forced on the defensive, which is not really where you want it to be with a build like this. He doesn't have a Forge, remember. Light does not seem to like upgrades in this matchup. So if Parker Mike can force Light on the defensive, that's pretty good for him. And having
Oh,
bought the time, he just leaves.
this is a really nice pickoff for Light, because without that proxy pylon warp in, his DT is gonna arrive a bit later than usual.
Yeah, that's very much true. Light did let that go pretty easily, though.
Kingslayer in the Twitch chat, hashtagging the Salivan, great jokes. Awesome.
More and more Stalkers being produced from both sides, although Parker Mike is getting has an Immortal out now. Both sides getting a lot of gates, neither side expanding, neither side taking a third base. Parker Mike definitely wants to play pretty defensively as he gets his +2, and I think that's a good move. I think if he doesn't need to take that third base super quick. He doesn't need a ton of tech units, he just needs a few, because in the end, those upgrades will prove to be what he needs to win. He's taking his third base now. Light usually takes it pretty fast, actually. And 2 DTs are being sent out to wreak havoc. And I think that Parker Mike's going to be fine against this. He's got his own Blink Stalkers, and he's got an Immortal as well. If Light were to blink forward and try and snipe that Immortal, that would be just absolutely fatal. Ooh, snipes a Stalker but doesn't lose a Stalker in return. Very nicely done from Parker Mike. He's getting +2, he's getting charged. He's in a pretty good position right now. Oh, but these DTs will actually achieve essentially nothing, as this Observer plus these Stalkers will do some damage. 3 probes will go down, which is not bad for 1 DT, but for 2 DT, it's not really what you want. But anything's better than nothing.
Alright, and looks like we have a bit of a deviation at this point. We do have siege.
Yeah,
Oh,
look at
actually,
that.
wow. Oh,
Bit of a skirmish.
oh my god, these players are so... They're doing the
Very
patience
aggressively
blink.
blinking forward against each other, yeah. But we do see a Robo Bay, as you were alluding to earlier. So it looks like we're going to see Disruptor play from Light as the follow-up. That's fun.
Yeah, Light is really known well for his disruptor play, especially in PvT. He
Interesting.
makes great use of it.
There is still no third base for Light.
Yeah, that's pretty odd here.
Yeah, he's just not taking one. So the onus is really on him to get something done, and Parker Mike is attacking the forward position of Light, actually. He's got a few charge lots, he's got a couple of Immortals, he's fighting up a ramp, but he doesn't seem to care. These Immortals just doing so much damage. And they're going to take out this forward position and even blink forward to get even more units. Wow. Parker Mike definitely is absolutely breaking the position of Light this time and doing extremely well. It's 3 bases to 2. Parker Mike's up 13 workers. He's up 2 upgrades. The only saving grace that Light might have for him is a couple of disruptors, but he's got 2 of them out already. He's making more.
Yeah, so that's a
Making
good.
2 at a time.
That's probably the only good news for Light is that even though he's down 2 upgrades, disruptor hits they don't really take into account upgrade leads. So that could be
that's
his.
true.
Yeah, that could be his only hope there.
But a lot of Parker Mike's army is Blink Stalkers, which are pretty good against disruptors because of their mobility. Although if he blinks forward, he could really suffer. Parker Mike.
Also, the charge lot is pretty good against disruptors.
Yeah. So, all in all, I'd say Parker Mike has a good army against this. But if Light has enough disruptors and gets into a good position where, like, Parker Mike can't really engage into him very well and then starts taking pot shots, it could prove pretty strong. You really need to sort of flank this. Snipes the Observer. I don't think Parker Mike actually knows exactly what's coming his way. So he's actually not in a good position right now, because that is a very siegeable position right here where Parker Mike is. The Disruptors are coming in, and Light has definitely got the element of surprise on his side. Oh, he forces the blink back. But Parker Mike is still up 10. Oh, that is not a good blink, but oh man, he's blinking forward to take out these Disruptors one by one. Light may have botched this engagement a little bit, but Parker Mike is doing it very well. And forced to back away, loses a couple of Stalkers. This fight is so close, it's so scrappy. Oh, loses an immortal. Actually, this is starting to turn in Light's favor.
Wow. Is he going to turn around another game while being behind? This is impressive.
Yeah, it is. And oh, the immortal's taking so much damage from this, he needs to split them up. He's got only a handful of stalkers left, and these disruptors. So if he loses these stalkers, then the blink stalkers could sort of blink in and surround the disruptors if they do well. Forces the blink away and kills another immortal. Oh man. This is so close. Remember, it is still 2 bases.
And Paco Mike's up to 3 attack upgrade lead.
He doesn't even have a prism. He's sending these stalkers out from his main base. Light is playing on fumes. These disruptors are his best shot, his only shot to win this game. Paco Mike is building a Stargate, but he's not going to be able to rely on a Stargate to help him against these disruptors. Oh, and dodges the shot, but doesn't matter. The Blink Stalkers take out this Immortal for free, and that's so huge. Paco Mike might actually need to give up this base, I think. He's not going to be able to take it. Good zoning from Light with those disruptors. Oh, and the blink forward, I don't think that's what you want.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh.
Paco Mike! But can he do it? He's lifting up a couple of the disruptors. The disruptors are starting to run low on shots. The charge loss move in. Can they be split well enough? Oh no!
my god.
Fight is up 15 supply. He's moving forward. GG is called, and Light pulls victory from the jaws of defeat.
2
And
bases.
will advance 2-0 over Paco Mike once again. But that was not the same series as the first one. Paco Mike played so well, but Light just played better, and he will advance along with Ro16 to the round of 8.
Yeah, so congrats. Those disruptor hits just that's why Light, he's really known for those disruptors. And that wraps up Group C here. Amazing games, amazing players. Light,
Alright, so
fortunately, will advance to the round of 8, which you can catch again next month as soon as we got the rest of the Group D concluded.
Yep, May 5th, Group A, May 12th, Group B, and May 19th for the finale. We currently have Art, Light, and BioIce in Group A, which is pretty crazy, and Hino, Rodson, and Burning in Group B. They will be matched by 2 of Astrea, Psyche, Starkiller, and Matties in Group D. Either next week or the week after. It will depend on how WCS qualifiers go, so stay tuned. We will bring Group D to you when we can. Some of our players do have some very important other tournaments they participate in, such as the occupational hazard of getting players of this caliber together to participate in tournaments.
Yep. Alright, that pretty much wraps up tonight's stream. Do you have any last words before we conclude this?
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you Axis for your donation. Thank you to Bubba Burger and 24 Hour Fitness for sponsoring this event. And thank you to all of our players for participating. And do make sure to check out Sunday at 7 AM ET, Zest vs Gumiho, the Alpha Pro Series premiere. It's going to be great.
For sure. Alright. Guys, once again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you had a great time watching these games. And we'll see you guys next time. This is your friendly neighborhood casting duo, signing out.
Nuclear missile ready.